No.
Good. Good. Good?
Holy crap, we're live. Hi. What? This is weird. This is Saturday. What's happening?
It's like we just released a video. You just saw us talk about Farragut, which we did in the past.
Ooh, I still have to tag that one.
Yes.
Damn it.
And now you caught us live talking about, Farragut if you want to talk about it. But, the whole thing. The whole thing, Stuart.
All of season 1 of Strange New Worlds.
10 weeks of our lives.
And lives.
See, this is why he's captain. He's a smart man.
Smarter than I look, thank God.
Yeah, if it was the other way around, it'd be awkward.
Hey, shut up.
Well.
Shut up, you.
I don't know if you press live, though.
I did.
Has it gone live?
Yeah. It is live.
That's weird. Wasn't very sure.
I don't have a poll up. You said you had a poll already.
I did.
Oh.
Love it, like it. It was okay. Overall, not for me.
Let me refresh this then, because I'm not seeing that.
Dave says, it's a glorious summer's evening in the UK. Just perfect having a few beers in the garden or watching Drunkyards. Just the same after up at 6 AM tomorrow for work. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I also have to be up early. So I'll not be going as long because I've got to be up as well.
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is a retrospective. This isn't about destroying our livers fully. But, you know, again, these things are not up to us.
Although, you guys that have that option. You don't have the graphic up for the
No, because it's retrospective.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Cool.
And Mark says should be in bed, but I don't want to miss this. Oh, aren't you lovely?
I should put in things to pin then. $5.
Well, that's good, Mark. Mark, while you're here, then you should be in bed. What was your favourite episode then? Because that's always an interesting part of this, is to work out what is our favourite, what was our favourite, and once we've been boozed up a little bit, to have jokes about if we still think things are our favourite, etc. But obviously that is up to you guys entirely. Our drunkenness is entirely dependent on the Superchats. As normal, $5 is a drink, 10 is more of the drink, 25 is a shot, etc. So, you know, if you want to get us tipsy, get us tipsy. I'll just review the whole season and get going. But I have, as normal, a nice and chill Bournemouth strawberry and cream, a rather nice cider, which I don't drink except on these lives pretty much these days, so so it's always good for the tolerance levels. I got vodka in a cool bag because it's not going to stay cold, and who the hell wants a warm anything for drink wise? See, I'm not a warm drink guy. I don't drink tea or coffee, like warm. Hot chocolate, okay, but I'll not be too warm. But I'm a cold drink guy. I can't think of any hot drinks I'd rather have than a cold drink. What about you?
Oh, I definitely prefer cold drinks. It depends, though, on the temperature and the time of day. I do like a hot coffee every once in a while. And I prefer my red wine chilled. I know that's kind of, you know, kind of a bad thing. A lot of people are like, ooh, it should be room temperature. I like it both ways, but I prefer it chilled. So, whatever. Today I've got Mike's Hard Peach Fuzz Vodka.
And then did Mike know you took it, or did you buy it from him?
No, I still know. Okay. He's a bit of a bastard.
So you better drink it so there's no evidence. All. Like, drink all.
I got some Dr. McGillicuddy's peach schnapps.
Not water.
Shots.
Might look like water, but it's not.
It's actually not. And Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire Cinnamon Whiskey for shots as well.
And that kind of looks like a airport, like travel box. Based on how you held it, like a travel box, a bag, container, whatever.
So,
yeah,
54 people here already. Wow, 39 likes. Hit that like button, guys. Do the thing.
That is one of the
We have an Eagle Moss link in the description. Use our discount code. Oh, no, I can't even say that anymore now. I should take that out of the descriptions.
And it's so sad, Stuart, because you mentioned Eagle Moss in an episode coming out tomorrow. I had to edit it out. Because you said it with beautiful interest. Oh, great to Eagle Moss do a version of it. Snip, took it out.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yes, I'm quite clinical with what I take out for both of us. Often we say the same point more than once, or we'll say something that we then later on work out is just wrong. I'm like, well, I don't need to make us sound stupid, so I take it out. It helps the streamlining of things, especially as after we tend to do those sorts of videos after all the other stuff, which means we've already learned a bit of what happened. So if it's just wrong, just okay, take it out.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just the way it goes.
Well, I think I heard someone say YouTube's gone back to preferring longer videos, but I was doing that when they preferred shorter videos, so it was a good thing to kind of make them as refined as possible. Like, you can't win.
YouTube needs to make up its goddamn mind.
Yeah. What was episode 1 called again? The Stranger Worlds?
It was called... Hold on, we're getting there. Where the fuck is it? There it is. It is called Strange New Worlds.
I knew it was something that was specific. I forgot it was that specific. Good. Good.
Yeah, I gotta say, I appreciate your thumbnail for this. Where it's Drunkyards and everybody's doing something like, "Hey, what's up? Got no shirt on."
Yeah, it's always such an active thing. So we haven't made one of these. We haven't done one of these in a very long time actually because of well, it was back to back. We did last one was for Lower Deck season 2. Then Project came out, and then no, Lower Decks was off. Don't remember. Basically, Discovering Picard we skipped because there was another show. It was too busy, so we haven't done one. But yeah, to go back and find the silliest of shots. Normally with booze in their hands. I almost did one of them around the dining table, but I thought, no, what can I summarise? And I remembered a few stupid moments. So, this is Pike in his, "Oh, lady that I had sex with from an alien planet. Hey. So,
Nice look on his face.
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
Adrian, well, that's generous. That's funny of you to say. Thank you.
Well, Andrew Parent, who's been a member for 4 months at the rank of Commander.
Really good to see you.
Thank you so much, Commander. Love Strange New World Season 1. Fave Trek media in a long time. Yes, indeed.
But Andrew, what about Lower Decks? Because I just can't put on top of that. Because this ignores visual canon, that celebrates visual canon. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's how much visual canon means to you, I guess.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. But that's, a big part of any show. Unless you don't care. Like Steve Shives.
That's one of the issues I have with Steve Shives. I like the guy, but
that's a silly opinion.
this makes a good back scratcher, for the record. It's good.
Just make sure to put safety on. Yeah, speaking
Jay
of...
Donaldson. Jay Donaldson, $5. A toast. It's the best live Trek since Kodo was at the helm. #cat.
Oh, Kodo. Manny Kodo. Well, I drank too, because it's always good to double drink at the start. Yeah, I was going to say, I just obviously did quite a lot of editing the last day or two, and we've done an episode on the Romulan outfits or uniforms from last episode. And I liked looking at my own glee of, they obviously designed a Romulan disruptor, but we didn't see it. But it's so easy to miss if you're not looking. And so it just reminded me of what they would do for that. Although we didn't get any ready rooms, because in Picard they were very keen, I guess, the production team to show everything. So they showed a lot of props in...
Yeah, we know the rest of the season absolutely fucking sucks, and we apologize. So here's all the cool stuff we did.
Which our team made.
Yeah.
We got about writing, but our team was cool, because we put it... Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's remarkable how open they were. Not that Stranger Worlds hasn't been open, but... they literally... I remember we did the Confederation where they showed the phases, and I was carefully finding half-second screen caps, and they just show a beautiful side view in the Ready Room. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And you were like, where'd you get that? I'm like, they just showed it. It's like, making my job a lot easier.
Andrew Parent clarified, he says, should have clarified live action Trek.
Cool.
I only had 60 characters. 50 characters.
Fair enough.
So we got a lot of the usual suspects here, which is awesome. Good way to start out.
Yep.
Hopefully this will be a fun live. Maybe we'll get plastered by the end. Who knows? It's up to you guys.
We have no control over that, Stuart.
That was disgusting.
So,
John Woke, member for 24 months at the rank of Commander. Thank you for your service, Commander. Says, absolutely loved this season. Yes. A lot of... I still see comments all the time. Best first season of Star Trek ever. And I'm like, nope. No, it's not. I'm sorry. TOS is the one for that. Sorry.
Yeah, over double as many episodes, over double as many hits,
Yeah.
and just because it's theatre. My dad always compares TOS to theatre.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It really is all about the acting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This also has more special effects, but don't rely on them. It's better balanced than say Discovery is, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
etc. So was my poll, just to reiterate, guys, was Stranger World Season 1. Did you love it? Like it? It was okay, or overall not for me? Broad spectrum? I put an okay in, because you guys like having the okay option.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So what was
your...
your...
share this?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Go share it. I'll tell people to hit that like button. We have 57 likes, which is awesome, but let's get up to 80. Let's try for 80 right now. If you haven't hit that like button, please give it a like. I don't know if the guy at the vape shop, I forget your name, is watching, but he said he was going to tune in today. So if you are, hi, welcome. He likes our Orville reviews. So anyway, hit that like button, guys, every one of you. If you are here and you are from the vape shop, you know who I'm talking to. Comment so I can learn your name, because I forgot it as we left. I'm like, what was his name, so I could give my shout out. Anyway, but yes, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell icon to all. Even if you think you're subscribed, double check, because YouTube has been unsubscribing people, so please check to see whether you're subscribed and all that jazz. And clicking the notification bell symbol to all actually is a big deal, so please do that. You can also join our channel. There's a join button down there. Click that join button and see what the options are to help us on a monthly basis. If you want to help us on a monthly basis with like $5 a month, rhythm and the analytics, because it shows you guys like the channel enough that you want to join and subscribe to it. And then you can also super chat during the lives, of course. We want to hear your thoughts. We do read all the comments and questions, and every super chat we do read on the air. We do read a lot of the regular chat as well, but we do read every super chat. So if you want to make sure that you're get your voice out there, super chatting is the way to do it. We do appreciate all of them, and we want to hear what you guys have to say and what you think, because we want to talk about it as well. So plus it supports the channel, it shows us that you love us and you want us to keep making this free content for all of you. And yeah, we don't hide anything behind paywalls. We don't believe in that. So all of our content is free, but we do need the financial support to keep going. So if you're able to, please do. So anyway, lots of ways to help us out. Plus links in the description. Please ignore like some of them. It's so sad. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, lots of ways to support and help us out, so please do. Hitting a like is the most important way, though. We're 65. We're 15 away from that 80 that I want. So 15 of you might not have hit that like button. Please do so. M. Stark says, been a while since I've been here. Missed you guys and excited to hear your thoughts on Strange New Worlds. Well, we missed you too, M. Stark. We've done reviews for all of them, and we absolutely think the series is doing great. Best live action Trek we've gotten. So, well, at least on the newer Trek anyway. Eric says, what are some other really good podcasts other than Trekyards? Text Trek is good. Starfleet Boy, Jesse Gender, Salty Trekker, Trek on the Tube. There's a lot of good ones. Trek Culture, of course. So, yeah, there's a lot of good YouTubers and good people to watch and get opinions from. So, Anton Smith, $5. Drink up, cat. Cheers. That hard peach fuzz is good. Mark Henson. Hopefully next season we'll have something other than Sombra class ships. Well, we had the Farragut in this, which is a different class of ship. We just never got the class name. So right now it's kind of the Farragut class, I guess. But yeah, the somber class was a bit of a pain in the ass. More like a somber class because I was like so sad to see that it was just a Constitution class. But hey, it is what it is. Chuck Jones, $5. Can you guys talk about what worked and what didn't for you this season? Absolutely, we will. Just waiting for Samuel to get back. He is sharing this, but I will have a drink for your $5 super chat. Charlie says the best YouTube channel is back. Thanks for all you do. Well, thank you, Charlie.
That's a positive point to come back onto.
Yeah. Now, Chuck Jones put in $5 and says, can you guys talk about what worked and didn't for you this season?
Ooh. That's a great general question. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. What worked?
Why don't we just one back and forth? That might be a good way of just being efficient. So you go.
This is what worked for us.
Yeah.
The writing was spot on.
The creative characterizations of the people.
That's gonna be my next one. Boo. The visual updates are nice generally and good rebooted. It's a good rebooted Star Trek. Let's put it that way. There you go.
Oh, that's too an easy out.
I know.
They're relatively successful single episodes and overall arching. There's enough threads that kind of keep you tying over. Mm-hmm. It's not quite enough probably, but works pretty well.
Yeah. The feeling at the end of an episode like you've actually experienced an episode. The episodic format, I guess the Star Trek back feeling, yeah, kind of ties in with what you said, but still enough points to keep them connected. So
yeah, the intent to develop parts of the universe for better and for worse. Better for
say that again. I missed the first part.
The intent to evolve parts of the universe and develop them better or worse. Worse being Gorn, better being Vulcan. I would say, if I was to.
Yeah. Angel as a villain was fantastic.
Antagonist.
Hopefully okay, sure. Yeah. Hopefully be a reoccurring character, kind of like the new Mud for them. So.
The amount of time on the bridge.
Ooh. Now, can we get into things we don't like?
Yes. Well, it didn't work.
Okay, right off of yours, it's a perfect segue into the briefing room off of the bridge. Shouldn't be there at all, but very cool design or set still. But yeah,
the Gorn in general didn't work.
That's true. Yeah, killing off one of your characters after he was only in like 5 of the 10 episodes.
Uhura didn't really work.
Una was absolutely awful.
It's annoying because watching the first couple, she works better, and then she goes downhill.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into obviously later. Maybe the ability to bench Pike a few too many times. Like a little bit too much, because he's definitely not the main character. Well, he has to be, but he doesn't feel like that in this season, because he certainly isn't. Like 15% more screen time, like for you know what I mean, like not a lot, just a little bit.
And Caitlin Mel says, "Why no briefing room off of the bridge? Because there's no briefing room off of the bridge in TOS. There's a bridge.
I mean, you know,
it's at the top of the ship.
You know what the bridge looks like. It's small. There's one door. Bridge. Yeah. There isn't enough physical space to put anything else.
Kirk didn't even have a ready room off the bridge or anything. It was just deck 1 or deck was the bridge.
Because remember, this ship still refits into that Enterprise, which we refitted from the Cage Enterprise. So, still canon.
Sylvia's asking if I need anything from the fridge.
Alcohol.
There we go.
Anything else that didn't work?
Well, the visual style being retconned
too much
was good and not good. So that's kind of a...
It was of the such that you got used to it very quickly, but at the same time it went too far.
Yeah.
Versus Discovery, where it's always annoying looking at the bridge. Every single episode. It's never got used to it. It's always been a bad design.
Yeah.
Like, it's never worked. And it never's gonna work. So...
Log to the base 2 throws in £1. So
What a
thank
cool
you
name.
so much.
Thank you. I have a water for that.
A little sip.
Water's a fair cheat, but it's...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What else didn't work? Nothing, really. I mean, it was... Overall, it was a fantastic series so far, so keep it up. Mark says that he needs another beer. Want to get him a beer?
I was just at the fridge. You're too damn late. You're going to have to wait.
Mark, you're too late. Sorry, man.
That's why I asked before I came.
I know. She did the right thing. Yeah. So, all right. Let's get into this. Kind of answered that super chat a bit. I'm sure we'll come up with other things as we talk more about the episodes, things we liked and didn't like necessarily. So, but good question. Thank you very much, Chuck Jones, for that super chat. That was an awesome one. All right. James Mick says, "Don't hurt me, but this has to be one of my favorite series." That's cool. Why would we hurt you?
Yeah. Yeah. And what's nice is that unlike Enterprise and DS9, that kind of had some odd storytelling, this kind of went in bold and knew what it wanted to be. Enterprise DS9 did not know what it wanted to be, and you could really feel it. So that's why it certainly benefits first season over those things. And I think also the characters were more baked. They had them longer in the oven, it felt like. So they came in, not all of them, we say that, but DS9 probably the exception, but still, season 1.
Yeah. Andy Urich in $10, so thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you.
The visual retcon seemed to be a way to split the difference between TOS and Discovery. Yes, they did steer away from Discovery in quite a few different ways, so yeah, I think it would have been too much of a hard just what to a lot of people that aren't familiar or don't care about that, to just actually change it to TOS. But I still hold them accountable.
Well, yeah, you're 100% right, Andy, but that also tells you how wrong Discovery was. Because if they had made Discovery better and closer, then we could have had it be in between the better Discovery and be more faithful. Because they went so radical, these guys had to rein back a lot, but they didn't go far enough. But I certainly agree, but it doesn't make it whatever. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, Holy Gabriel, I thought the same thing, but I know what he meant.
I mean, food is baked. That's been in the vernacular way longer than everything else. So, clean up your mind. You dirty, dirty people. Filth! So, Stuart, what was your prep like for this retrospective?
I watched like the first 2 episodes.
Okay. Yeah, I was able to watch 4. But Stuart, they're quite long.
Well,
when you've watched them a few times and talked about them for many hours and reviewed them, they're very long when you know all about them. So they're not that interesting to rewatch for me. I think they all got worse in retrospect because I've talked about them so much.
We need to distance ourselves. We need to like revisit them in like 3 or 4 years, maybe.
Yes.
Be like, okay.
Because Lower Decks and Prodigy, they were so short, you were able to just zip right through and really enjoy them. But when they're so 55 minutes, is such a drag of like, I want to get through them. I know the story. I know everything about them. It's nothing against the episodes, but they're very long when you know everything that happens. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I kind of came away thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember most of them pretty well.
Yeah.
I've seen each of them about 4 times, and then I've done like multiple lives on them.
Yeah,
so.
we dissect them more than almost anybody, and as such, we know them pretty well. That's why when people call us out for things like, how many hours have you talked about them? Oh, 0 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Well, we have 82 people now and 76 likes. We're still not at the
That's
80
cool.
likes that I wanted, but there's enough people here to make it happen.
And 25 is hard liquor. Like, if the vodka's right there, the hard liquor gets the giggles flowing. So if anyone can throw in a 25, 50, whatever. Ooh,
You know what?
I like a yellow, though.
I'll give them one. I'll give them one just for free. John Woke, though, $10.
Thank you again.
Love the total mix of Enterprise, Beam, and burst-like phasers. Good tie to TOS inconsistency. Nice. Still trying to decide how I feel about the Gorn. Both drink. Okay, well, I'm going to have a shot of my peach schnapps.
When did they use phaser beams though? Because they stand out as using bolts at all times.
I remember they used beams at least once because I pointed it out because
But they were red though, because they weren't blue.
Yes. Yeah, they were red.
Which is sad. Obviously, that's one of the few things Discovery did right. They made them blue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing this show can't really do is space battles. Flybys, yes. Space battles, no. But not everyone can do space battles. It is an art. It's an art within an art. I know I'm biased. I've done lots and lots of space battles at this point.
Yeah.
But they don't do them very well. Each one I was like,
Joe Smith says, I get really confused when people really complain about the general aesthetic of these shows. Would you rather it look exactly like TOS? What would look so out of place? That would look so out of place these days. Well, go watch In a Mirror Darkly Part 2 specifically, to see a Constitution class filmed with modern lighting, modern techniques. It looks fantastic. It still looks amazing. There's no need to change the aesthetics. It's a period piece. So, fine, update it for a reboot. It's a reboot just like the Kelvin verse. Fine, it's its own thing, yes. But don't say it's prime timeline and change everything to look exactly like it shouldn't. It's not how this works. They even held true to form when they did Trials and Tribulations in DS9. It's a period piece. That's how it should look. That's how it'll look. So I totally disagree with that. You can visually update the TOS bridge slightly to have it look more modern, but not so different.
And Joe, it's a little bit like saying that in 50 years, someone like yourself might be saying, "Oh, you really wanted Star Wars to have green flashing lights and green holograms? Are you joking? How can there be one tone? Of course, update that." And I'd be saying, "No, I'd rather have Star Wars maintain its aesthetic because that's the aesthetic it was given. I don't need to Millennium Falcon given a chrome paint with like half so many degrees, or maybe now they'll have neon in the future, so everything's got neon. I mean, the Millennium Falcon always had 15 neon panels. It's like, no, that's how it looked.
Redo the
Death
era. Star but in chrome with like neon light strip.
Yeah,
around the
it's more sad that other franchises are able to stay consistent and this one isn't, unless you're Lower Decks or Prodigy, which both contained. I mean, Spock didn't look, none of those. I mean, it's animated, but they don't look out of place, etc. Yes, not identical, but 90%, because that's what it looked like. I mean, yes, you have the ability 10 years previously, but it doesn't mean you can triple the size of the sets. Yeah, there's too far and there's too far. There's the we're going to abandon it and we want to do it. It's lack of imagination, lack of creativity is how you just say, oh, throw it out.
Yeah. John Woke, continuous beams against the cruiser that was trying to abduct the poor doomed first servant kid.
Okay.
And there was another one too. Where was it? Red beam was fired at the comet aliens. Oh yes, for Children of the Comet. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, Mark.
All right.
So then, what did you think then? When you've watched 2, I managed to watch 4. What was your thoughts in sort of rewatching, especially the first 2, because those ones are very much different, I think, vibe-wise. How did they compare then 8 weeks later with knowing the end?
They still felt very TOS to me. They still, I think those first few episodes, they really focused on the TOS feel. Yes, Equality of Mercy, the last episode also did, but with the lighting and stuff. But the other ones, just the way they were presented and structured, I think felt very TOS. And that's what we wanted for this series, so it was good. I didn't watch Ghost of Valyria, but I remember that it kind of was the first one to kind of feel like more modern Trek storytelling, more something like TNG. But the first 2 definitely with the asteroid and the alien ship and going down to a planet and disguising yourself felt very TOS. Those stories felt very in line with that old storytelling. So that's kind of what I got from it. And then as the series went on, it went more to a lot of character-based, well, not character-based, but just the way that the story structure went, it felt more TOS or New Trek to me. Or TNG, New Trek to me, sorry, is what I meant to say. But still having the TOS aesthetic. It was, I don't know if I'm right on that. Just those first two feel very TOS in the way they're put together. So, how about you?
Yeah, I was. It was interesting how they swapped who they focused on. So, rewatching the first four, it's interesting how much of a punch Una has. She feels like she has. Lan certainly does.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they don't invest the season. Number one, mostly. It's interesting how, Ortega's has literally 2 lines an episode, yet still stands out, but has almost nothing for all the 4 episodes. I actually recognise the bridge crew more. They have a hugely one-sided female to male cast on the bridge. It's normally 6 women to every 2 men on the bridge. Episode 4 was the first time they had a non-Spock and Pike male on the bridge. So that stands out when you watch them back to back, because then you start to recognise, oh, that's the Asian lady, that's the, which is kind of interesting. It was nice to see. Then you then see them in that scene, and that. So I was able to recognise the bridge crew more, which was nice back to back. I think when you know the better episodes of the season, the ones that don't work quite as well stand out more. Because at the time, I think we felt pressured, I know I certainly did, to like every episode by the fans in general. So I was trying to find the best in every episode. Obviously, then I can break down what I don't like as a filmmaker or storyteller. But to then watch them when you actually have 10, you can actually now say which ones you don't think are the worst, etc. I was able to sort of... Because then you watch it not as a week-by-week entertainment medium. You now watch them as, how do I judge this story out of context now? Or even the opposite, super in context. Now, like watching 6 episodes of TNG, you know which is the best out of the 6. You watched all 6 in quick succession. It's clear, right? Versus week, reset, we try and remove ourselves for a few days of the episode and come back in fresh. So that was very interesting. Yeah, there's a lot to say on each.
Well,
yeah.
Sean O'Sullivan throws in €2 and asks, how did we get from 1701 to 74,656 in a century? Because each class of ship has its... Okay. Registry numbers are a pain in the ass. Originally, and in beta canon after TOS, each class of ship had its own designation. Like the Constitution classes had the 17. That was their numbers. 17 and then a different number afterwards. The Saladin or the Hermes class had 3 digits, like NCC 500. Different classes have different numbers to show what kind of class they are as the first 2, and then there's numbers after that. Then eventually in TNG, it eventually just became that it was... That's not how many ships they have. They don't have 74,656 ships. That's not how it works. Registry numbers are a pain in the ass. Michael Okuda tried to make them make sense, kind of like halfway through TNG, leading into Voyager and DS9 and stuff. But there's still some standouts that just don't make any sense. So they are what they are. That's not how the numbering system works. A heavy class cruiser was the 17 series. Constitution was 1700, 1700, and then the Enterprise was the first sister ship, 1701. That's how that worked. And then you got weird ones like the Constellation. I believe it was the Constellation that was 1017, which was still a Constitution class. But the story behind that is that the number 1017 was a historically significant number for the name Defiant. So they just put that on the ship to honor the name Defiant. So there's a lot of little loopholes and stuff with the whole numbering system. I hope that answered your question. We need to do a video on that, but it'll be very hard to research, and because it doesn't make sense. That's just the problem.
Well, there's nothing in canon because no Trek officer ever says, "Wow, there was 8,000 ships built this year. How do we jump from 400 to 19?" Yeah, there's none of that. So obviously, there's no canon information. I will say that you can also think that there's massive expansion, and so, you think of the TOS era as being more about hundreds of ships. You wouldn't say thousands, you say hundreds. But you get to TNG and post-TNG, you do think of potentially thousands of ships, because I think the bar as to what a ship is that gets registry is much smaller. A runabout gets a registry. Remember that. So as ships get every class under the sun, as we build, I'm sure we had more new shipyard built between sort of TOS and TNG, etc. And as we say, well, now we can just explore well, we don't need a colony to go to a science mission on a Federation world that's a one day. Let's design a ship, build 10 of them, boom. So I see it as we went from hundreds of ships to thousands of ships, and then smaller ships, and then etc.
Yeah.
So it was more just massive expansion, and as more worlds come in, maybe they build I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just huge expansion.
Well, during the beta year, like Starfleet battles and stuff like that, and all the beta canon like schematics and stuff you get. Another thing I remember hearing is that each shipyard had its own designation. Like all the Constitution class built in Earth's orbit, San Francisco shipyards got the 17. The Defiant was built probably at Jupiter, the Jupiter Io station, which got the 10 instead of the 17 at the front. So that's another way you could, just different dockyard facilities. So yeah, I mean, hard to say, but you can make it make sense in your mind.
But it is smart to try and maintain any ship that you want to include, make it close to other ships of a similar class, just for sanity's sake. You know, I've had to do a lot of ship registries, and you always try and sort of keep it in a and I talked to Rick Sternback ages ago about Horizon, and I was wondering, should we get into the 8 registry? He said no, that's a big jump, because ships don't go in chronological order. So Voyager's got any ship has a high number, but it's been development for years, so these things aren't necessarily built, isn't a 1, 2, 3 order. So don't think, okay, now we're obviously into the 8s, obviously into the 9s. No, we're still probably in the 7s. It's just they're jumping all around the place. Once you go that far, you kind of symbolizing a statement of, no, now we've pushed forward. And it's like, well, maybe we haven't yet. So that was kind of his vibe, and I would trust him over anyone in this chat. No offense.
Yeah, and the only reason that this discovery was NCC 1031 is because Brian Fuller was a huge Halloween fan. So 10th month, 31st day.
Yeah, so ignore that. I mean, when there's a lack of logic put in, you can't even rectify in canon. There's just, he wanted a thing. I mean, that's a lot of things Brian did. He was clearly a narcissist in that way. You know, God canon over actual canon.
Well, yeah, he wanted no cylindrical nacelles. The Klingons had to look different. Like, he wanted his own stamp on this Star Trek. And then when he left, unfortunately, all the sets were built, all the prosthetics were done, so they had to work with what they had. And they slowly changed it over the course of Discovery. Like, Klingons' heads got smaller, little things got updated. But overall, the main aesthetic was there, all because of Brian Fuller. Just not wanting it to be prime.
And Doug said he'd be a great addition to things he worked on Voyager.
I know.
Little did he know.
Doug was excited at first.
He didn't really know him at all, clearly. Alright, so, you guys keep super chatting with some, but I've had no hard liquor yet. My glass is empty, so I'm eagerly waiting more drinks. So, episode 1 then, Stuart. Strange New Worlds.
Yes. Alien incursion on a planet. First contact, which didn't make any sense with a ship with a single nacelled 3 crew. But that bugged me immensely. However, we got a single nacelled ship. Yay. And then going in disguise to go down and rescue them. One of the best things for me in that episode was seeing the tricorder have screen accurate TOS displays. Perfectly TOS screen accurate displays on that tricorder. Again, didn't have to change the aesthetic. It works perfectly. I'm glad they didn't touch it. So things like that mean a lot. The genetic modification to change them into the aliens was a weird choice, because it's always been prosthetics, even in like the Enterprise incident where he, makes Kirk into a Romulan. It's been prosthetics. I mean, it could be that Chapel was deciding to, try something new, and I think that's kind of stated in her dialogue. I'm working on this new thing. Let's try it out. Doesn't quite work on Spock or last as long, and is very painful for the change. So, that was neat, but that was very TOS, beaming down to a planet in disguise and trying to rescue some crew. And overall, I think it worked really well. The speech from Pike at the end, kind of talking about, Earth's history, was interesting and quite impactful. And then seeing the Enterprise in the atmosphere, you can either take that as a good thing or a bad thing, but it was quite a statement piece. Like, I have the bigger stick. It was actually very well done episode, but felt very TOS to me, and I think that's fine, because we're back to that era. You know, we're back to the frontier, the Wild West of space. So yeah, it was a fun episode, and it was a good way to come out of the gate for this series. So yeah, that's kind of all I got for it. But um, I don't even remember. I keep in mind, I don't remember any of my scores that I gave these things.
We're not.
So
Well, no, we're not scores yet. No, that is. And what do you think about it in retrospect? How does it hold up now after 10? That's doesn't matter what you necessarily think, because we know you like it. But how does it now hold up compared to all?
Very well, very well. It definitely fits in, and like I said, it was a good jumping off point for the series. Classic Star Trek story to start with, and it really set up the vibe of the show. So wish they would have done something with the title, but hey, it's the name of our series. That's okay. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was good. It definitely is. Nothing's really changed. Of course, the season 1, like they didn't make any drastic changes, so it feels fine. I don't know what you mean, what you want me to say specifically for that, but all the characters.
How you watch it differently after you know everything else. You watch it in a vacuum. Now you watch it knowing all the subtext, all the hints, all the evolutions, It's entirely different once you know everything that's happening.
Yeah, well, it makes me appreciate the characters more, like La'an and stuff, because she's really bumped up in my appreciation now that we've seen the whole season. So I don't know, not much changed for me, but it definitely felt fine. How about you?
Yeah, it's a weird one, because in retrospect, I wish they had spent a bit more time on the planet stuff, because the Pike stuff is super specific to him. But that said, it all blends in so well as this welcome to the journey. It has a scope to it. It has a oomph to it that comes out the gate really strong. And to start the episode with explicitly a Pike and Spock love fest of scenes, given those guys the only reasons we got Stranger Worlds, because they were so good, they showed up the team of Discovery, all the actors, performances, vibes, they literally were too good for that show. They got their own show. So to give them the first 15 minutes to themselves and then their stories was really good, was really smart, and everyone else's introduction, that was great. Pike at the end was really strong. It's probably his second best episode. I think his first best, probably the last one, and this one's his second best one, because he's got the most to do, and he really can. I mean, he can lead a show by himself. He is a leading man when they let him be leading man. I thought it was interesting that they kind of don't flip flop, but throughout the season it's all about him and his futureness. And this one he's sad about it. I think the next one Una says maybe you can change it, and then we learn that by changing it mess up the future. So it kind of almost feels like he should accept it almost earlier. It's kind of weird to then jump back to the start and have him be as anguish about it. But I'd forgotten that he said he felt it as well, and you can't go with feeling yourself be burned alive with radiation. So that I'd forgotten in retrospect. Una was better in this episode, I thought, because her scene was all about her, so she got to stand out. I thought she was good. La'an has had a big journey, because she's way more grumpy in this one and the first two, which I get why you didn't like her as much, because she's unnecessarily aggressive for the sake of it, when later on she isn't. She's part of the crew, she blends in better. She unnecessarily goes against Spock for no reason, comes across as for no reason. It's a little, but they clearly didn't know where she was going to go yet, so they were developing her. She finds herself pretty quickly, but it's interesting to see she's more full on than she needs to be. I think in the dry dock we saw the Farragut class. I noticed it first time round as a sort of a Miranda-esque, and I think now retrospect it's got the curved pylon, so I think they built it then and there for the thing. So that was cool to see what I thought was Farragut. The plot hole of the time jump is still egregious, because in the after the first two scenes, Pike says, "I'll see you on the Enterprise because we've got 10 hours, we've got to leave," and Spock says, "I'll meet you there." Spock arrives there first from Vulcan, which is a couple of days away at high warp. If he can get a ship straight with high warp, which he can't necessarily just get a ship. He's not coming on a Federation starship. He's presumably coming on a shuttle or a freighter. He can't just necessarily grab a ship. So he's several days away at maximum warp, and he gets there in 6 hours and sees the crew. It's a insane, stupid plot hole, which is completely. It really entire like bit. It's like, well, you just ruined your entire episode in terms of functionality when you didn't have to say 10 hours. You could have said 3 days. Plot hole to the nth degree, and it almost as much as the first scene where the Wonder Cell, 3 crews obscene. Especially first contact is a very serious thing to do. You send an entire team. You don't send 3 people. Una is not qualified for this anyway. Like this is not her thing. She's too mean for first contact. No offense. So it feels like if they were observers, fine. If they're duck blinding, fine. But it's the first episode has some big plot hole logic problems in the first half to set where they're going, which just don't work at all. And especially as Spock works out they're not warp capable in about 15 minutes. Una doesn't work out at all, which makes her look much stupider in retrospect, when she's meant to be smarter than Spock in the abstract. So it makes her look worse.
That's the other thing.
It was so easy for them to work it out. It took one scene of very quick dialogue. So
that's the other error in this one, is the fact that they witnessed the battle of the last episode of season 2 of Discovery from this planet. That's what had them develop this warp tech, or this the technology. But if they're looking through telescopes, with where the battle took place, light travels at a certain speed. It was figured out that there's no way they could have seen that and had time to develop the technology, because this is 6 months later. This is 6 months after that.
What? And not just that, but if light travels, how long does scanning waves take to cross space?
Exactly, yeah.
Because they had to literally scan. They couldn't just see a warp drive. There wasn't a big light of warp drive. They had to scan. Like, can Hubble scan all of the subtextual emissions from a light year away?
Well, James Webb Space Telescope can find out whether a planet has oxygen on it just by the way the light moves through their atmosphere and stuff like that.
That's different, because that's visible waves.
It is different.
Seeing particles inside a warp drive.
Plus, you're seeing it as it is like 5 million years ago, because that's when the light getting into this is right now. But that was 5 million years ago. And
also, you're seeing an understandable reaction on a scale that's giant. A ship that's 500 meters wide. A light year away's telescope. You're telling me you're pinpointing to 500 meters in crisp sharpness in the hour of that battle to see inside the ship and scan warp drive through their shields, probably, because there are many an episode where you can't scan the ship for life signs.
Yeah.
Now maybe you got the radiation of warp, like subspace radiation, that is not going to take to build a warp drive. So there's definitely leaps of logic, and they definitely run over a few things. More in the next one or the third one, but yeah, definitely some logic plot holes. I think the season has got quite a few plot holes overall, but they're so big that they're just mistakes and you can move past them, if you know what I mean. Like, they're not the tiny ones.
The episodes are so good. Yeah, the episodes are so good that you're like, they made a mistake here, that's fine. Whereas the Picard episode is like mistake. Oh, look, a good thing. It's a totally different way of looking at the episode.
But they feel like honest mistakes. Like, they just didn't realize that they wouldn't be able to do this. So when they wrote it, they just made a mistake, and it feels very genuine. Not trying to trick the audience. Just made a mistake. They didn't realize that you should have 3 people on a ship. They just didn't think, or they maybe it'll be a shuttle. They felt honest. Just whoops mistakes versus anything else. Yeah.
JB throws in $50. Thank you so much, JB. A shot for both of y'all. Let's kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy. All right, I'll have some of my Tennessee Fire, I guess. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire. Simmering. All right, we'll even do these shots at the same time for you guys, just because it's how we roll. Oh yes, he's got a Units Energy sitting with it. Yes. Your mic's muted, but...
Yes, because the aircon. Because it's warm in the UK. All right.
Well, I can't hear the aircon, so don't worry about it. Keep it on. Cheers. Thank you, JB.
It's funny. I felt it go down, and then it went all the way back up as the booze went "Whoop!" Face.
Yeah. So, Devo77X. I'm going to address your comment as soon as Samuel gets back. I don't know where he went. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Look, he's back. I think he spilled some. He need to get a thing to wipe it up. I'm narrating Samuel's life. And then he realized he spilled some alcohol. He left the room, went to the bathroom, and grabbed a tissue with which he could sop up the mistake that he put upon his desk. Anyway,
what?
I was just narrating your life.
Oh, thanks. No, it's just because the spoon gets wet from the vodka, so I got to put a thing down just to stop the...
I need to change my narration now. All right.
Yeah.
Devo77X says, I think thanks to this episode and the finale of Picard Season 2, the eugenics wars has been moved to the 21st century. No. The folder in Picard said Project Khan. It also said 1996 in two different spots. That's the year that they sent Khan off Earth on the Botany Bay. That's when they would do the thing on Project Khan, and they sent him off. This episode did have the thing with the eugenics wars, which is kind of ambiguous as when it happened, but it was like within 60 years. So looking back a couple centuries, a 60-year span, you kind of clump all that stuff together. He wasn't specific. He was just saying a lot of shit happened.
No, they were explicitly vague.
Yes.
Which is an opposite statement, but they really were. They didn't give off specifics. They weren't confident to do so.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the controversy at the time from some fans saying, oh, these are Capital Riot footage, which I'm fine with because it's interesting footage. It's not going to mean anything in 30 years. So it's fine. Longevity is more important. But I remember them mentioning it because people put in my brain that, oh, it's Capital Riot footage. So I thought Pike had said, and the riots of 2000... being like, Jesus Christ, that's not the Nate timeline. But no, it didn't. But did it say the Second Civil War? Or was the first one being the one that, whatever, 1776, whatever. So there is a Second Civil War, which is interesting. Philip, will you be at Destination Star Trek next year? There is no Destination Star Trek next year. They've lost
there is. It's going to be in Seattle. It's the one in the States.
Well, that's not Destination. That's Mission. Destination's the UK brand.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if someone wants to pay us to go to Mission wherever.
Seattle.
Sure. I mean,
I'll be going probably regardless. So
it costs an extra $1,000 minimum to get me there, which we don't have. Yeah. So.
Anywho, Grant McGregor, $5.
Thank you.
I think the finale weakens some earlier episode because it's possible to capture dialogue from the '60s, make it work today, opposed to modern hip lines. I think the finale weakens some earlier episodes because it's possible to capture dialogue in the '60s and make it work today, opposed to modern hip lines. There weren't many modern hip lines. I mean, Ortega's maybe said a few.
I was about to say every line she has is one of those lines. But
other than that, I mean, nothing stands out. I'm gonna have a drink for that one.
Well, it's not. Oh yeah, it's not. They're not speaking in '60s. They're not speaking 90s. They're speaking in modern day vernacular. It's just not pushing the boundaries too far. But they certainly aren't speaking like TNG dialogue. We shouldn't do lower decks, but it feels more appropriate. Yeah. Ugh.
Grant McGregor, $5.
Again.
Back to the first episode.
Yes.
I think it was a recycled script where an alien race sees the Romulans or Dominion War hundreds of decades ago. Sure, that would make more sense if they saw something from like a long time ago. That makes more sense to me. But it was very much like they saw this thing, let's move past it. They developed this technology in 6 months, let's move past it. Oh look, it's a big threat. So
I was having watched it, reviewed it, analysed it, talked about it, I was left wondering this time around, it would have been better if a crashed Klingon fighter or something had crashed on their planet or in their solar system, they'd grabbed it and reverse engineered. That I think would work better.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree.
Not to say it could have gone hard, because it's about almost a light year. It's not that far, but it's still far enough for obviously even light travel. But if
it would have been great, yeah, if that was the case. Something crashed. They developed the warp bomb, and then they witnessed the battle and thought, well, let's apply this technology to space travel now. That would have made more sense to me, as they were developing a new way to go into space or something.
Wouldn't have had the bomb without the battle first.
I know. If there was a ship crash on their planet.
Yeah. Like
they dissected the ship
Vulcan's first contact
ago.
went wrong. Carbon Creek, but died.
They dissected the ship like 60 years ago, like Roswell. Developed a warp bomb with the technology, then saw a battle and went, well, let's turn this technology we got from this crash ship to advance our space flight. And that's what attracted the attention of the Federation and therefore the First Contact team.
Well, that's a totally different story then.
I know it is, but I'm just saying that would make more fucking sense.
Well, I like the idea of them, having a ship crash, a Ba'u fighter crash, they reverse engineer, then they, maybe they activated a warp drive for a second because they had warp drive still, but then maybe there's a political coup and they say no, we're doing it as a weapon now. I mean, it's not to say it's bad, but there's certainly a few things that I think because they're trying to pack a lot of story in, they have to just have flaws because they've tried to do a lot, especially if there's a few where it's really pack. It's like with the last episode, how the hell do you go back in time? Time crystal monolith, that's not how that works. If they time travel the entire time, do you not think that Worf would be going back to see Kahless, or they could have brought Kahless forward, or they could have... No, they don't have time travel, it doesn't work. That's a silly thing to say.
Eric Martin.
Good to see Eric.
Wait a minute. Yes, Eric Martin, $5. Stranger Worlds is so much better than Disco and Picard. I can't find it in my heart to criticize it.
That's a bad outlook on anything.
Everything deserves to be criticized. That's the whole thing. That's the whole reason we do Trekyards reviews. All Star Trek has its flaws. All Star Trek has its good points. We like to focus on both and show you and compare. So.
And often, if the flaws on something like that, these really great debates on how to improve it, and that kind of almost raises your outlook of it. It's like, oh, that would have been so cool, ideas and thoughts. But no, this episode, it's very smartly played, and it still holds up really well. It almost, like I say, almost could have done being fully one or the other, having so much setup. It doesn't detract from it. I would love to have seen a more developed full episode by having a bit more in it. That feels rushing things. Oh, and certainly there's lots of time skippy problems, but when La'an says, trust me, raise shields, and Pike gives this odd look of why? I'm like, she's your security officer. That's literally her job, trust her. You know what I mean? Multiple times they say, what are you doing? It's like, but this is my job. My job is to tell you to do in tactical. Your job is to think about the entire ship and the crew. I do tactical. When I say raise shields, Captain, you just do it. Don't think about it, That's sort of the point of the... Anyway. And then 1 second later, the missiles are fired and hit the shields. That is really stupid editing and timing. It's not practical. And also the idea that they could get up to the ship in 4 seconds because they see them launch. And then not just that, but then they've now made an offensive attack against the Enterprise. In theory, that means they've just started a war. And yet they never bring it up again that they were going to destroy them or attack them. They attacked first.
Yeah, but it's not a known faction either. That's a fine line. It's not like there's treaties and policies in place. It's just holy shit, there's something coming to our planet. Let's fire at it.
Oh, sure.
It's not necessarily going to start a war with who you're firing at. It's you misunderstood our intentions. Relax. So no, I take issue with that a little bit.
No, I get that 100%. But then the fact that when they beam down and talk to the leader, there's no you fired on our ship. No one mentions it.
That was the whole biggest stick thing. You thought you had a big stick with those weapons you fired at us? Check out my big stick. And there's the Enterprise. It's
because if they had scanners that detect warp drives from a light year away, they could detect the Enterprise still had its shields up and took the blast. I know they say pretend to be dead, but they would be scanning where their missiles were. They would see the shields flare. They would know it wasn't destroyed. You know what I mean? There's a... And why didn't they try and destroy or even get a ship up to the one nacelle? They just sort of leave it there for no reason.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that just don't make sense. I'm sure the writers could explain them, but you'd be like, was any of that in the episode? No, right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the 2-page explanation for that. None of it was the episode.
Oliver Lavery Farag says there might be a destination next year, but maybe he knows.
Well,
He's got an inside source.
That'd be a hell of a reversal, given how CBS are being these. Well, Paramount, I should say. Hi, Joseph. Okay, so Stuart, what would you give this episode? In this, now to reiterate,
Jesus Christ.
we've not seen our previous reviews. This is purely what would you review it now after rewatching it out of 10.
8.6.
I'm gonna go 9.2.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, episode 2, Children of the Comet.
Ooh. This one again felt very TOS, trying to save a population of a planet, divert this comet so that they can, but then finding out that the comet is actually, it has a trajectory, it has a course, it does its thing, it changes the climate of the planet eventually. We don't know that yet. And then these protectors of it, very TOS in its execution. The alien was amazing. The whole idea was pretty cool. This is before the Prime Directive exists, but it gets modified quite a bit over the course of the time between this and TNG. So yeah, saving the planet, had no problem with that. That's very much a TOS mission. You can definitely see Kirk and crew doing the same thing. Like that's what they're there for. So no problem with that necessarily. And then yeah, just having this advanced alien technology on this comet and having the comet almost be able to tell the future because it knew that the shuttle was going to break off a chunk of ice that would do the thing, that would change the climate of the planet and therefore eventually make it so these people could actually evolve into more sentient society, like a better society. Great episode in this one definitely, and just even the effects, like the alien was a very nice mix of CGI and puppetry, and it looked significantly alien, which was great to see. Like that's what TOS I think needed more of. That being said, you had the Excalibans, you had the Tholians, you had the Spectre, the gun guys. I can't remember, the Malcosians. I think that's it. So I mean, there was a lot of aliens in TOS as well, but this was a good episode. Boom, done. That's my summation. How about you?
I think I didn't enjoy this one overall.
Oh, I did. I like this one.
The concept is phenomenal. Really, really phenomenal. But there's so many weak points for me that overall I'm like, no, I didn't really enjoy it a second time. I know I didn't like it as much first time either, like compared to the first one.
Yeah.
But rewatching it, visually it's such a weird one because all of Pike is on the bridge talking to a guy for a good 15 minutes without any visual change. All of them in the egg room is the same exact shots with this no visual variety. You can't get lost in the boredom of the same exact scene for a good 20 minutes. The space battle is bad with no sense of text of, the first shot of the Shepherds takes us down to 60%. That is an astounding level of technology. And yet they have 0 shields because they have to disable their weapons in one phaser blast. And yet every shot afterwards they can't disable the Enterprise despite being able to take out, 40%. So their battle is really, really badly done. It's an embarrassing space battle, honestly, where the ship is always more powerful, but it's take-outable instantly. And that's a common trope in Stranger Worlds. The Enterprise never fires back to try and gain time. In the Gorn episode, they never fire, early. It's like, weapons are useful. Try and get weapons back if you can disable things. They could have kept firing on the Shepherds, Disable them.
Yeah. It's a good place for an ad break.
Oh!
Because YouTube said so. And we're back. I don't know how that works. I've never watched one of these after the fact.
Me either.
I'm so sorry if you're suffering through an ad.
So yeah, with 3 chunks of it that I just don't think are even good, that's a lot of the episode. That said, Pike is great in those scenes, and the prosthetic man makeup is fantastic, fine, great. But the scenes themselves aren't. They're very long, they're drawn out, they're poorly paced. Yeah. Uhura's given a lot, but right at the end, she makes this really odd jump from I can understand syntax to I will sing something and it will tell the shields to come down. there is no way she's worked out how to tell it to put shields down. There's a massive leap of logic there that is not explained, and it just feels really stupid. So there's a bunch of just significant issues with the episode. That said, the concept amazing. The first 10 minutes are phenomenal. You know, and beaming onto the comet with the floating up floating up snow because it's being pushed out of the comet. Beautiful. I didn't even catch it. I thought it was snowing, but it's not. It's reverse snowing because of it's gravity. So the first 10 minutes is phenomenal, and then it's so many plot problems after that. And then obviously at the end, it's even more. It's silly as well because Pike is so shocked of predestination. The comet knew it was going to do this, dude. You touch a time crystal. You're dealing with the existential death of your known existence. Why the fuck are you debating this? There's a huge disconnect of you understand this one character would be like, oh yeah, okay. How the hell are you working out ones and zeros to work out an exact map of the entire solar system, an exact representation of? That's not just ones and zeros. It's like in Discovery when they go from yes or no to conversations with a massive leap of logic. You've missed the in between. You can't just take 1010 and translate it into a full star map. That's it. You need the other syntax between that. So for me, this just drops many balls. It's going to get significantly lower score because in comparison to other ones, there's so many weak parts of it. Are just distinctly weak. And again, compared to the first one's much better than this one. Like them side by side.
Yeah, I enjoyed the adventure in this one. I enjoyed the comet aspect and stuff. So, but that's me.
What do you think about my comments though?
No, you're right. But I still felt this one felt very Star Trek or very TOS. Logic be damned. And yeah, Pike being surprised was fine because it's an asteroid. Like how did it know specifically? Blah blah blah, whatever. But yeah, the time crystal thing is interesting. Let's see. Eric Martin, $5. One of you two should be a story consultant. They need some over 30 advice in the writing room. Weekly Trekyards logic notes. LOL. Well, we're happy to know that at least Lower Decks and Prodigy watch our work. So the people involved have been watching us for years. So we really appreciate that they do watch and they do listen. Who knows what they take under their as for advice, but
and it's one of those things that these sorts of very small things are just, you know, scripts are very difficult, and they're things that are being left in because of rush time, because of etc. But all you need is someone to come in fresh and say, that doesn't quite work, or vice versa. One of the showrunners to be like, I want this to happen, and the people are saying, sir, that's not how that works. No, I want it to happen, and then you're left with this whole of, well, I've been told something doesn't work. I know it's not going to work, but I'm being paid by this guy, and this is the job, and this is the guy. So those things happen all the time. I know that some of the designs on Stranger Worlds were fought against, and they did them anyway because they were told to. And they knew they'd be the wrong choice, at least for Star Trek canon.
Starman Falls says Pike forgot to use photon torpedoes most of the season. Not true. He dropped a photon torpedo like a depth charge at one point.
Which is not using them appropropriately. So you
the only one they had left. Because they all blew up and didn't just damage any of the ship as a result. That was just stupid. Yep. We're getting to that one. Alright, so...
Yes, he did forget to use them, for sure.
Children of the Comet. What would I give this one?
Well, that was a quick review.
Well, we're over an hour in and we've only covered one episode, so...
Fair enough. Hey, fair enough. Yeah, okay.
Okay, we can be here for 10 hours. It's cool. We'll take an hour per episode.
That's true. Okay, fine. Your review score.
8.9. Keep in mind, I don't know what my original scores were, so it'll be cool to compare these after the fact.
6.5.
He knows what all the scores are. So
no, I haven't looked. Separate page. No, I don't. It's just...
Yeah.
Which is sad, because I always want to steal the concept. It's a phenomenal concept, just not a good execution, in my opinion. Alright, episode 3. Let me jump on this one, because we can swap around. Goes to Valyria, which works a lot better now you know who she is and the payoff at the end. They go to a colony of genetically modified people who are all dead. They've all become space ancient beings a la Stargate. Everyone gets affected with...
It looks like the Paw Wraith, though.
Yes. Everyone gets affected with the Naked Now virus, but light. And they somehow get cured at the end just by being next to somebody as they're about to blow up. Mbenga doesn't cure anybody. Chapel cures them. We learn about... It is his fault entirely. He's got his daughter in the pattern buffer. Which is interesting, because in episode 1, they have to beam somebody through the pattern buffer, the eye serum. But he hadn't got the girl on board yet, I guess, because he didn't make any note to the pattern buffer. My assumption is that you put her in after that.
Well, no, they were using the main transporter for that.
No,
not the sick bay
no, because Chapel beams. Chapel beams.
Yeah, but she takes it to the main transporter room.
No, he does. She beams in the sick bay, the emergency transporter. He beams her, and then he takes the serum to the main transporter bay. 100%. Watch like.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't mean that there's room in the transporter buffer for like more than one person.
I know, but I was expecting now, knowing him, to mention it, just some sense of what if that could hurt, because
they haven't figured it out yet that she has a daughter.
Fine. But I was noting the absence of some sort of, the pattern buffer. Anyway, number 1, this is her only episode where she's the lead. She does good though. La'an saying augment. Bit of a heavy-handed Khan reference, but it's done, out of the way. And Pike and Spock are entirely sidelined for 90% of the episode.
Yeah, the Pike and Spock scenes for this one were Kirk and Spock TOS vibe for sure, but it was very much like B story. It's fine. The rest of it, the light virus and stuff, I mean, it was an interesting idea, but Una being able to regenerate and cure the disease, well, not get the disease because of her cells, was cool. But then her touching La'an at the end, theoretically, then she should be able to cure anybody of anything by touching them. I understand there was a radiation burst or whatever that might have, fixed it. That's fine.
Which is funny because Khan's blood was the solve of Into Darkness, and now they had a Khan there, or an Union Sin, I should say. Small thing, but I just found it a bit funny.
This wasn't the episode where she carries hammer, is it?
Yes.
It is, okay. This is, and the hammer being the doll, like a obvious crash test dummy doll. I don't know if they did that on purpose to mimic what TOS would have done, because you feel like TOS might have done that, and people would complain, "Oh, the doll looks so fake." Yeah, well, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. Find out she's a superhero, essentially. And Pike's like, well, I welcome that discussion when Starfleet finds out, which leads to the end of the last episode of the season. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But I really enjoyed the Kirk Spock stuff more than the rest of it, I think. And you're right, M'Benga never has done anything. This is one of the first letdown for us with M'Benga. Like, can you do something? You're a doctor. No? Okay. That's cool. I don't know.
He's no McCoy. McCoy.
Yeah, this one was just kind of not as good as the other two for me. But this is the first. But this promised a lot for, like, Una. And
yes.
Waiting for more Una for the rest of the season. And just, we're sadly disappointed. So.
And it's also odd because in this one she very willingly lets stuff get taken in, and so it honestly makes me feel a lot less bad about the last episode because she's happy to face the consequences of her actions. Like, she's okay with it. She broke all the laws. She's doing the wrong thing, quote unquote, and she's okay to deal with. She's had her time, and
yeah,
like, okay, cool. Like, she had her years, etc. Although, as you said, I remember you saying at the end, this episode, everyone got away with crime, basically. Everyone broke the rules in a big way. Yeah, everyone's fine. Apart from
a criminal.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is odd because it's a phenomenal concept again, but there's a few weirdnesses to it. And you almost don't need Pike and Spock. Every time you cut to them, you realize they're not around, which diminishes the rest of it, I think. If they had them out of contact, that I think would have been stronger.
Yeah.
I've had to read focus the episode, but fair enough. And also, probably I would have had less people. I know it wouldn't have worked per se, but I love the episode of Voyager where they get stolen, like swapped out one at a time, and you really feel that now I've got 10 people I can rely on, 3 people, 1 person. Like, it would have been fun if you really got a sense of the crew left to help her, so Lan wasn't gone as quickly, etc. So it was more like this is the teamwork vibe. It's so shotgun approach in that you know it just sort of is. There's no vibe to it really, except when Ben Graham Chapel, despite being next to people who are infected, are the last to get infected, which is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this one I think was the first one that dropped in score for me, honestly, if I recall correctly. Should I score it?
Score it. What do you think?
Gonna give this one a 7.8.
Yeah, and I'm trying a bit more varied in my score because there's more of a clear hierarchy of who wins and who loses. Because I think that the quality is a bit more varied than we think. I think this one definitely better than episode 2. We do not agree on that. I'm gonna say 7.5. It has a quarter of it that doesn't quite work as well as it should do. I think that's a good way of summarizing it then.
And Eric Epperling says Captain Pike really didn't have that much clout with Starfleet regarding Nuna. It's his first officer. He's going to go to bat for her regardless. And what are they going to do? Drum out of Starfleet? Because that'll change his fate. The cadets' fates. Yeah, but now we know that things can be altered, so he doesn't have quite a defined I can't die vibe anymore. Things can happen that'll change the future. Well,
but also he's seen that if he doesn't change it, he knows, because by not seeing himself return, he did return to the original timeline, so he knows he is set again. So I think he's even more. I think it's the opposite. I think he's now more sure he can't die until that moment because everything revolves around that moment. He has to let it happen for everyone else to be fine. Which is why I liked in this episode where he says, you know, I'll deal with Starfleet. They'll deal with me because he knows they're not going to fire me. They can't. I'm going to be a captain, and I'm going to be this other guy for a lot of years.
In this episode, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a bullet.
I kind of disagree on the other point though. Like, the fact is he can alter what happened, and he says in every version that they showed me, so it means it's happened multiple times.
Well, he can, but also he can't.
Yeah, but I just think that it's not as clear cut as I can't die. I can beam myself into space and not die because I have to be there for that thing. I don't think that's necessarily the case. So I don't know. I think it will be a little bit different with the way he approaches things as a result. But
sure.
Eric Martin, $10, a drink for both of you. Thank you, Eric.
And guys, we're still available on Superchats. Put in your drinks, make us think. We're at least 150 away, so help us out. Make us drinks. We're very sober still, so.
Yeah, I've only had I had 2 shots because I did one for free.
Yes.
But
Alright, episode 4. Which I'm glad I got this as the last of the 4 I could watch. It's the first Gorn one. Setting up as the big villains of the season. Everyone loved this one going in. Jump on his first trip.
This is the one I remember least out of all of them because this was the whole submarine warfare with the Gorn ships. And Remembrance Day, where everybody wears a pin of another ship they served on that has, been destroyed or whatever. Beam down to the colony or site, whatever it was, where the Gorn have there's blood everywhere. They've taken out, and we get a lot of flashbacks with Creepy Boy. La'an's brother, and seeing that whole thing happen. Let's see. The Gorn show up. There's the smaller ships and the larger ship, which are communicating with light beams. What the hell else happens in this one? The battle where the Enterprise gets destroyed. All of its photon torpedo reserves get destroyed. Yet for some reason that doesn't decimate the ship, which you think it would if.
No, I think what happened, they did all explode, but they decided to put the torpedo tubes encased in the thing that the door was made of from Discovery Season 2. because it can survive a torpedo impact from a more advanced torpedo enhanced by control from the future. So they did all blow up, Stuart. They just inside the little.
The cartridges they load the photon torpedoes into the ship with are all made of that material. Okay, I gotcha.
Yes.
Well, it just blew up inside the cartridge.
Yes, but they're all fine. Which is just as stupid as the idea that there's a transporter-resistant metal that they coated the ship in. Because that would be everything. That would be revolutionary. Are you joking? That's amazing that you just make that as a part of a cargo ship container of a civilian ship hundreds of years ago in terms of TNG time. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's useful as hell. Put that all of your complexes. Every dictator trying to take over Dominion on Cardassia. Just have it build your base of that. There you go.
This was also the first instance of Team Hammer and Uhura teaming up to like vent out the cargo bay because they had this cooling system designed for the colony, which is going to go critical and destroy the ship. So we get to see cargo bay for the first time. What else happened in this one? The shuttle got some good interiors of the shuttle, which is really cool. Yeah, and just showing the ship destroying destroying the little ship as a result of what the shuttle did was really stupid. I still hate that. And then faking the explosion of the Enterprise because they dumped the cooling unit, which explodes, and then there's the black hole swirl, and the Gorn think that the Enterprise got destroyed. And then they take off, and then the Enterprise takes off, and it's just kind of... Yeah. I haven't had a chance to rewatch this one, and this one was a lot of people's favorite episode. I somewhat disagree with that assessment. Very much disagree with that assessment, but hey.
Yes.
Yeah. Not my favorite episode.
It's a tricky one because, again, great idea. I love the intro in terms of the Gorn have deliberately let a ship live to dock so they can't use shields, they can ambush them. Fantastic. Great idea. Really, really smart. But the fact that Gorn's ship designs are so poor and so uninteresting, and given that we see a very similar episode in the last episode, which is almost entirely bridge, fighting some ships, or one ship in particular, like a similar battle vibe. That episode is fundamentally much better than the Gorn episode. It's by being very similar in vibe because we understand the ship, the characters. In the Gorn, it's just creatures in ship go pew, design that I don't understand, and then ships in Nebula we can't really see, they go pew, and then more ships arrive and they go pew, and also they're monsters and we can't communicate with them, but it's a weird one because in theory, again, great episode, but once they get into the Nebula, there's a plot hole in every episode. There's an entire segment of the episode where they talk about the depth of the gravity close to the anomaly will crush the hull. And Pike says, no, it's worth it, the Enterprise will survive, and they crush the Gorn ship, right? Fantastic. Not long after that, they launch a shuttle, which has less shields, less hull. Why isn't that crushed?
Because they weren't as close to the anomaly for that part.
Or why did they move further away if they knew the Gorn weren't going to just,
Because they had to go investigate the other ships.
But they wouldn't have known where they were, though. So you're saying just sort of moved away a bit. But it's such a moment. You don't get that sense of, now we're going to pull away, and then they were chasing you, and there's this whole thing. They're chasing them, they know where they're going. And then in a similar vein, when they're flying into the black hole, again, how does the box thing, the thing that explodes, how does that survive the pressure for even more than a second? You're literally at the edge of this black hole where gravity should be worse. How is the pressure of gravity not even a problem now, or now you're even closer, and this thing survives? Like, they ignore the plot point that's fundamental to the radical storytelling, and they ignore it just to tell the next part of the story. But that's the threat, is we can't get closer, we will be destroyed. Oh, we're fine, as are the Gorn ships. Well, what's the point then? Why are you telling us this story? There's so many problems with that.
This was another one where Una just got sidelined because she got injured and was in sickbay. Again,
Yes.
like
Mhm.
totally useless.
And in fact,
I don't like this episode. I don't know why people think it's the best one.
and in fact, somebody said that it's because she didn't want to commit to be on the season fully because of the limited travel in and out of the country, which might explain why she's barely in season 1. She probably could have filmed, several episodes worth of bits in one go. We know they filmed a good chunk of the episode 1 after the biggest part of the pandemic, so maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
No, it's
Oops.
it's just and just to lose all weapons is just such a cop out. How? They don't ever shoot at the torpedo launchers. How do the torpedo launchers stop working themselves because of a manual thing? Why don't you try and repair phasers? And then just the fact that Gorn are, so evil and venomous and breeding sacks and they hunt you for days. It's like, it doesn't really feel like any of the Gorn. Can you imagine having La'an talk to the Gorn kebab guy? You're evil. You're monsters. I hate you.
Would you like a discount or something? 20% off.
20% off your pains, La'an. I am not a monster. I'm called Jeffs. Jeffs? No, Jeffs.
I think you'll need to remind a few people what the Gorn kebab guy
Oh, the
is.
Gorn
I might not remember.
Yeah, in Lower Decks, they buy buy food from a Gorn kebab guy on a starbase in Federation space. So he's just an innocent bystander, not an evil villain guy. In this episode, definitely made me like the Gorn less. It made me think of them as a worse alien overall and just more two-dimensional, and that's a shame because they feel less intelligent, they feel less diverse, they feel less advanced, they feel less interesting. They're just a generic predator race that kills, impregnates, massacre, move on. Far less interesting. So yeah, I rewatching, knowing where they're going, it's like no. Especially as when they flash back, La'an says, they hunt us day and night. I'm thinking, what do you mean hunt you? We already know they're faster than you by 1,000%. How are you getting food on this planet? So you've only got 2 days until you starve. They're not feeding you if you're running day and night. They're not hunting you if they can chase you in 4 seconds. It's not really a hunt, is it? It doesn't. None of it connects. It wasn't thought out properly. And you can feel that, It's a shame.
Yeah.
But Corey, that's not what Trek canon is. That's hell of a in your brain, but it's not what they're doing. Oh, bye, Devereaux. Okay, Stuart, what is your score of this episode? Oh, last thing. I don't buy for a single second that the brother could look up at the sky, look at two things, send signs to each other, and work out a language. You need intent. One ship going. You didn't get him saying eat, crucial, die, whatever. There's no way you need 2 points of reference, or at least some reference. Ships flash
You need to have
each
them
other.
flash at each other, and one ship go grab a cargo container and deliver it to somewhere else, and go back and flash.
Yeah.
And be
How does a ship represent hunt? And why do you know that one single instruction is hunt? It's laughable. And the kid's like, look, La'an, I worked out all their language. No, you didn't. Shut the fuck up. Idiotic. And then
I hated that kid,
La'an
too.
can just tap, instantly knows the entire language. No, she doesn't. Stupid. Just every episode, but just a plot hole of nope. Okay, so what's your score for this one?
I was going to go score at 7, and he just said all that, and I'm going to score at 6.8. Because, yeah, it is stupid. I don't like this episode. I don't know why people are so googly for this episode as being their favorite.
It's Balance of Terror until we got Balance of Terror.
Yeah. I enjoyed some of the battle aspects of it.
The last one makes this one look worse, because until the last one, this is the best we had. You know what I mean? That was the comparison point. God, yeah. I am going to say... $6.7. Oh, just what you said. Okay. God, I really think about that one.
Yeah.
Next episode, which I now
Spock-a-mock.
I have to remind myself I didn't get to rewatch this one. So episode 5, I'll read the synopsis on Memory Alpha.
Spock-a-mock.
Memita More is, well, yeah, thanks, Dad. While on a routine supply mission to a colony planet again. No, that is not right.
You're reading the wrong synopsis. You're reading Memento Mori, the one we just did. Spock-a-mock is next.
Sorry, I thought it was your joke.
Do you want me to start talking about it while you read?
It's a comedy of manners when Spock has a personal visit in the middle of Spock and Captain Pike's crucial negotiations with an unusual alien species. Yes, Spock and person change places. Go.
Yeah, this was a fun one. I was away for this one, but I really enjoyed this one. I was at Wonderfest. It was a nice, kind of more lighthearted one where they swap places to Pring and Spock, and the interaction with Pike is really hilarious at first. But there's also negotiations going on. There's a alien species. By the way, I know the captain, the guy that played the captain. He lives in Stratford. He's friends of a friend of mine, so we should have him on the show sometime. Regardless, they're having negotiations, and they kind of mimic everybody that they talk to, each person, kind of like play off of the way that they more logical with Vulcans, more argumentative with Tellarites, but they ask for Pike, and eventually they have to talk to Spock, and Spock is now to Pring. So they have a solar sailor. It's their like first contact ship kind of ceremonial thing, which was a neat little aspect. This also had Enterprise bingo in this episode. So the Spock and T'Pring thing with the Enterprise bingo, it was very lighthearted. There were no real stakes involved. Yeah, getting somebody to join the Federation, whatever. But this was a really fun episode. You got to see a lighter side of La'an and Una, which I really liked. I liked that Una's nickname was Where Fun Goes to Die. I thought that was pretty hilarious. And also some shore leave on the one space station that has all the scenery and the greenery, with the silly hat with Mbonga was wearing. And also then Spock as T'Pring goes to chapel to get help with the guy that she has to deal with. So there's a lot going on with this episode, but it was really fun. And again, it's nice seeing the different side of Spock that we've never really seen before with him and T'Pring. T'Pring really jumped up for me as far as a favorite character as a result of this. So yeah, it's very much a Freaky Friday episode, Bill Barkley, yeah. And then Mbonga actually does something, but only because he got advice from Spock on how to fix it, with the paste on the forehead with the crystals to transfer their Katras back. This was a really fun episode for me. I really enjoyed this one. It was just lighthearted, but again, I was in a different environment. I wasn't at my house when I saw this one, so it was kind of a weird one for my memory of it. And I did review it with you from the hotel room. So yeah, this was a fun one. Better than Memento Mori by hand, like way better. What are your memories on this one? Well, I know you didn't get a chance to rewatch it. But...
Well, I'm scrolling, and I'm left thinking, my God, how dense this one is! Holy shit! You know,
it is and it's not. I think Memento Mori is way more dense. But
I mean, in terms of little things that happen, I mean, I'm scrolling,
yes, yeah.
And in order of things that happen, you've got a mock time recreation with 2 Spocks, fantastic.
Yes, yeah.
In a great makeup, great realization, no problem, fantastic. Then you've got the space station beauties with Spock and T'Pring. Their loveness works really well, and their tension works really well. Then you've got in negotiation with the Green Wraparound and April, both brought back, very cool. Then you've got really great interactions with the aliens, great makeup, great interaction, perfect, moving on. Then you've got the gals doing away team, good vibes, good energy. Links to Una and La'an, who then get their character stuff. You get...
signing the Scorch, yeah, that was the other big thing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You get the number one, I say number one because she was Majel Barrett. The depth for Chapel and the date, which isn't the Enterprise, thank goodness, which was fun. You got the bingo, you got the relationship with the 2 ladies, you got the fighting each other, you got the Spock being genuine with Chapel, you've got the swap is great, the acting's really great. You got Pike and April being like, dude, you're fired. He's like, what? They hated you, but we loved each other. You know, a great little twist. You got, we need to help you, Spock. Then you've got the cadets getting in trouble, which now I recognise the Asian child lady was the comm officer when Uhura's not comm. Now I know her. She's in 4 episodes. Anna Boleyn, first Boleyn in canon. Not updated at all. Mwah! Chef's kiss, perfect. And this brig is just the EV suit depart.
Yeah.
You notice resets after a while. Great scene. You have the other Vulcan lady talking to Pring with being like, "Hey, help me, everyone, to Pring key your only hope." Great. Constant fun things, and then Spock to Pring to Chapel. Good vibe there. Every scene has something cool in it, even if it's low key, right? And the fact that to Pring is pushed with the racism card of, well, he's half Vulcan. She's like, well, him being her, being him. Clearly she doesn't care because she's presented with this often and she's fine with it. It's really up to her as a character. So really this is kind of like a Star Trek 4 in that everyone gets something to do except for her. She's just there. Everyone has something. Everyone is doing good. Everything diversifies the idea. This is just such a good idea. I'm scrolling. I mean, the dialogue I'm also being lost on, but such good stuff. And this, for me, now looks better compared to the rest of the season because this is a wide swing and it hits. Because this could have not worked easily, but it hits strong. And again, great makeup. Every episode so far had a very strong, distinct prosthetic or makeup that's just hit. It's another hit. So this one, like, again, rewatching just the skim, just instantly, this is a standout in the season of quality.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and yes, Pring did good. So I'm going to score some first then. Just from scrolling compared to other ones, I think this deserves to be second best of the 5. I'm happy to say that. I'm going to say an 8.9. Right up there.
I feel like I want to give it a 9.2.
Oh, see, I feel bad for 8.9 now. Fine, I'll give it a 9. I thought we were going to give it so less than that, so I'll up it to a 9. It's really good. That's
Next
why.
one is this.
Right.
Oh.
That's why I thought it was the same name, because I've named twice on the chart.
Next one is Lift Us Up from Where Suffering Cannot Reach. It's the one with the kid who has to sacrifice himself for this whole planet. Pike love interaction. He met this lady when she was a lieutenant, and they have a nice little time together. And then we find out about the kid, but the father and the kid come aboard, and he's like, I'm the father biologically only because he was raised by the royal house or whatever it was to fulfill his duties as the prime or whatever the hell it was called. And then a very sad ending when they find out that the kid has to sacrifice themselves. They see the dead body, the mummified corpse of the other kid being removed, and Pike wants to resist, but I mean, the fact is, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. I mean, that's kind of a Star Trek idiom. So, this was a tough one. I'm trying to remember all the little nuances that happened.
2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes, sorry.
Yeah. Trying to remember all the little idiosyncrasies of this one, but I can't. I just remember the overarching, this was a brutal story. No sickness on their planet. They could cure Mbanga's daughter, should they have the time to, but they're not residents of the planet, so they wouldn't allow the technology or whatever to be used that way. But Mbanga gets a little hopeful that his daughter can be cured. And then it ends on a really dour note with Pike being quite upset about the situation, rightfully so. But it's not, it's their culture. That's how they've always done things. Yeah, this was a rough one. This was like the most depressing one of the season for sure. So, but very much, was a Star Trek moral quandary episode for the captain. So there was a lot going on with this one. We got the Jaffa sticks. We got the Jaffrey from Stargate, basically, as the palace guards, and there's also a crash ship that they found one of the challenge coins or whatever the hell they were. That's how they outed the one guard, that he was part of this resistance to try to save the kid and get him off world. It's just all very sad, considering that the father was trying to save the kid and basically Pike and crew returned him to his fate. Yeah. This one didn't leave a good taste in the mouth, I think, and I think that's why maybe a lot of people don't necessarily remember what happened with this episode. Eric Martin, $10. Lots of talking. You two need a drink. Hell yes, we do need a drink break. Thank you, Eric. Speaking of 74 people here, 111 likes. Let's try to get up to 120. Can we get 9 more likes? I think we can. 9 people probably haven't hit that like button. So, all right. Now, yeah, so this one, I did enjoy this one. Like, it was a good writing, good scripting, good acting all around, but definitely left me on a sour note, which, you know, some Star Trek does, especially a lot of TNG and DS9 episodes definitely do that, even some Voyager. So, but again, this one felt very TOS in its execution, in multiple ways. I can't see Kirk necessarily. Pike tries to stop the kid from meeting his fate, but I think Kirk would have resisted a little bit more. Wasn't the story based on a famous story? Probably. I remember hearing that at the time, but I couldn't tell you what it was. This one is highly predictable. The woman was too nice. Clearly a red flag. Yeah. So yeah. Don't know where Samuel went, so we're going to wait for him to get back. In the meantime, though, guys, consider joining the channel. There's a join button down there. Also, make sure you're subscribed. YouTube has been unsubscribing people from channels lately, and a few of our members have found out that they were unsubscribed from Trekyards. So by all means, hit the subscribe button. If it is red, that means you're not subscribed, and make sure you click the bell notification icon to all so you don't miss any of our lives or any of our breakdown edited content. We do have an episode that was out earlier today on the USS Farragut from the last episode of Strange New World, so go check. Yeah, if you're able to super chat, now is the time to get us severely and seriously liquored up so we can.
Sorry, I had a voicemail.
While we're drunk. A voicemail.
Yes. So I was like, oh,
okay.
A real voicemail. It's unusual. Yes, hello. Eric, yes, good.
I just talked all about this episode, my thoughts on it, so now it's your turn.
Yeah, I think it stands out now as we haven't got there yet, but probably like the best morally episode. The other ones were.
Conundrum?
Yeah, the other ones aren't really about that. So this one definitely stands out as being that. Just scroll. She was great. First of all, Pike was great. The kid was great, and kid actors are not always the best. Which means when they're good, you're like, oh, they are good. This episode, no, that's not true.
You think the father's the villain at the beginning? You find out that he was trying to save his son.
I don't think he was, but I know what you mean. Oh yes, the not battle at the beginning, or the not, yeah. I remember this one bit, and I'm scrolling. This one made you appreciate how good the child kid boy is versus the daughter kid. Just significantly worse actor compared. It's fine, allowed to be, but just a whole different level of acting quality.
Oh yeah, the kid. I forgot about the kids having a kind of a friendship.
Yeah. Whatever her name is. Although I liked how in the first episode they did, or first with the daughter, that they do talk about the same book that's in a later episode. So now it's fun to be hearing that. So they have that plan, going through. They have written the season because they wouldn't, they have that plan. But this is a good episode. I think it was a very long commitment to the bit, if that makes sense. is a lot of setup and somewhat quick payoff. But the CG is good, Pike's good, although getting down to the phasers is a little bit unbelievable. You wouldn't necessarily let him be armed still.
Mm.
The romance subplot's good. I don't know, I'm scrolling and it's not very dense. I'm scrolling and not a lot
It's most
happening.
impactful emotionally, though. It left on a dour note, for sure.
Well, the ending is the oomph, right? But I'm scrolling and the rest of it isn't really jumping out at me as stuff that's happening. Although, yeah, the kid being aboard the ship is a little bit silly and blah blah blah. But yeah, the last oh, hey, good, the Indian guy's back. Now I recognise Bridge Crew because I've watched from the start. It's like, aha! He was the guy from episode 4. Cool. But yeah, I mean the ending. Oh, yeah, it's tricky. The ending's great in a sad way. But I kind of wish they went into more detail about why and how. Because they say, the planet will fall apart without. Well, that's a pretty reasonable, that's a pretty reasonable sacrifice for a kid for the entire planet. And if it's not that dire, then they're lying. Then tell us that,
Yeah, this was a lava planet with floating cities.
Yes, which is massively advanced. Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, they are going to die by that. I mean, in war we send soldiers to die. They're obviously justifiably sacrificable, and they're not individually saving the entire planet. They could have taken the corpse out first.
Yeah.
And then beaming out right in the middle of the conversation at the end. But yeah, this one it's funny. It's message over substance.
Yeah, he hung up on her.
Yeah.
He beamed out while they were talking.
Oh yeah, and then this one's doubly sad because they had a cure to her disease.
Yes.
And then we know she never got cured. She got saved, not cured. And that was sad. Rukia, yes. But yeah, it's not as deep as I thought. Because I'm going through it, there's just less to it. Good, but not great, I guess I'll say. What's your score then?
8.4.
Okay. I think I'll go a solid 8. There's not really any big plot holes. There's not really any. Yeah, I think it's pretty darn solid. And the Strange New World solid is better than the average solid. So, yeah.
Yes.
All right, the Serene Squall. Cybok. In as much as Luke was Last Jedi. Yes. This one's fun. Good old Orion, which means we're seeing Bolian and Orions and oh my. We get the dual character portrayal of Angel and not Angel. We get the
Doctor Lady.
Yeah, we get the excellent Vulcan prison, not prison start with. So Spock, I was reading some sex books.
Yeah.
Human sex books. Oh, okay, cool. Just developing that even further, clearly being set up. But yeah, it's not that's not believable. It's not even that's believable. The Nurse Chaplain Spock stuff. It's more a case of. I guess she's just attracted to him, and she's not used to not getting who she wants, based on previous episodes. And the fact that she knows she can't, I think, makes her want him more. Unrequited lust, I would consider it. But she likes who he is mentally, just... She wants him and then would leave him, not in a mean way. Then you get...
We're getting introduced to Stan. The phone
yes!
break,
The one-shot villain of a future episode. Yeah.
Yeah. And this one ended on the turning the pirate crew against each other, mutiny. Those were great.
With the comedy lines.
And then ending on the special reveal of a certain character.
And not a secret either, which was super interesting. This one falls down with its plot hole. They all have a huge plot hole, which is how the hell did what?
There's Little King from Forest City Vape. Hey guys, how's it going? I mentioned your name. Well, I mentioned you guys at the beginning, but I forget the name. So, Little King, I guess we'll go by. Good to see you.
Okay. And yes, Dan, we thought Thorians were going to be in the show because we thought Tholian Trap, which was great, is underused as it was.
This was a fun episode. I like this one. And such a good villain. Well, antagonist, sure. the whole, we weren't here for the ship, we were here for you, Spock. And then she's, in a relationship with Sybok. It was quite a twist, kind of. A lot of people were like, I saw she was a villain from the beginning. Yeah, well, sure. Okay. I thought she could have been, she couldn't have been. It was fine either way. Both characters she did was fantastic. So, yeah, more. I want to see more of them for sure. Yeah, this one I really enjoyed. I remember that, and I wanted to. We talked quite a bit of how this could have a follow-up, 1 or 2 episodes for sure, future seasons perhaps. So,
but this is big plot hole, however, is that the 20 or so mercenaries somehow overpower the entire Enterprise crew.
Yes, there's no Enterprise crew, which is stupid.
And there's no Enterprise crew. I know there's COVID, but they literally do a couple of shots. They walk through corridors, empty corridors. You literally have a security team with phaser rifles who could side beam in and shoot them or force field them. You've also seen blast doors in an episode where Pike had sacrificed a crew member, and yet they just take over the ship in seconds. It's extremely, extremely poorly done to the point of lunacy. Yes, there's a bridge scene, but there's several hundred people, and even the botanists could grab a phaser and defend the ship. And there's not even like they've been poisoned gas over or vented the ship. It is very badly done. Like, top tier shit when it comes to plot holes. Cheers.
Yep. Cheers.
It's one on every single... Strong.
Oliver Lavery Farag throws in 10 pounds. We are desperately far away from hijinks. Drink. Yes, you guys have been very light on the drinking today, so...
That's up to you guys. Thank you, Oliver. Not even at a minimum. Like an all minimum. This is normally... Our minimum's normally double for these. So that's sad. But I mean, it's a Saturday.
81 people here, though.
Yes.
What happened to Intruder Alert? Good question.
Yes.
Yeah, this one, how would I score this one? I love Pike's little pirate imitation at the end. Arr, matey. Please stop. That was kind of funny. Score-wise. You want to score this one first?
Yes, this one is good. This one is more this one is more of the cheese of the camp, I think. Fully committing to Pike is now a chef for the aliens and he just chats with them for ages is pure camp and it's great. So it's a different sort of scoring than the really action or really clever. It's different, but it knows it's trying to do it and it commits. You know what I mean? That's great. So I think it's still a very strong one, and the ending really helps it a lot. The start is really great. As a part 1 to a hopefully 2 or 3-parter. For me, I think this is going to be an 8.3. 8.4. It's good. It's good stuff.
I think I'd probably give this one a 8.9. George Mangrum throws in $25. Oh. Can you both review Elysium Kingdom as each other's puppets, complete with accents? Thanks for another great season of Trekyards. #SamDrink. No is the answer. I don't want to do a whole review with the puppet.
But I think George wants Puppet Foley back. I think that's what he's asking for.
Well, I'll have to mute myself and leave because I can't handle the voice. Sorry.
Look, the voice found itself, Stuart. Voice found itself. Yes! Boy, these thumbnails, man.
Right?
What a journey I've had doing the thumbnails. Go for it, Stuart.
The Elysium Kingdom. This is a fun one. This is the fairy tale one. Mbonga is working on a cure for his daughter and kind of sidelining his regular duties. They're investigating a nebula and goes to the bridge. The bridge is converted and he's the king. And we get all the characters playing against Pike's like a sniveling little coward. And it's hilarious. The acting in this one is really fun. Ortigas is kind of like the king's, guard. And anyway, craziness ensues. We think, is Mbanga infected by the thing that blew up in sickbay? No, he's not. It was a red herring all along. But that's very quickly sorted, so that's fine. We get Hemmer playing the wizard, which is hilarious, the way he handles that. I really enjoyed his performance in this one, from not being affected by it because he could sense the thing going into his consciousness and fighting against it because it felt like his brains were being pulled through his nose. Love that description. Let's see. We've got Ahura being the bad, ice queen from Narnia. Mbenga just didn't impress me in this episode. Like, I loved his reaction. Like, he knows what's going to happen. He knows the story. He's like, yeah, that's cool. But I thought it'd be more of a standout episode for him. He was very kind of lackluster in his performance, I think. But also the way he played it was kind of funny. Like oh, right, yeah, let's do that thing. The kingdom, the map of the kingdom being just the Enterprise was really well done. I just wish we would have seen it more. I saw it for a quick second, and we took the screen cap. It was pretty cool. I just wish they would have highlighted it a little bit more. So the mission is they have to go rescue or get. So there's the Mercury stone, which is actually turns out to be his daughter, and they have to get captured essentially. So that who are they trying to free? Hemmer, yeah, that's right. And Hemmer is locked up in the transporter room.
The wizard.
Yes, well, that too. But he uses the magic, the power of science, and the way he overplays it at the end with the "I'll beam you to the event," or "I'll send you to the event horizon." Very well done. Liked it. But it all ends on a pretty weird note. The daughter is fine. This creature, this entity in the nebula basically cured her, and she can't leave, otherwise she'll get sick again. And we know her time was counting down quite rapidly at that point, even though it's not really given a timeline, unfortunately. It would have been better to have better stakes and know that she only has like another 2 hours out of the transporter buffer or something like that. But basically they decide, or Mbenga decides to leave it up to her. She wants to be happy. She doesn't want to be alone and isolated, and the only time she comes out of the transporter buffer is to have her dad read to her. So she joins this thing, and we think that's the end. And no, she comes back as a grown-up. She's traveled and seen a lot of things in her time with this entity, which, not a temporal entity, so it's fine. So we know she's fine. She names the entity after her mother. It's quite a heartfelt moment. A few of them at the end there with the daughter, and that's it. It kind of resolves Mbenga's kids' storyline, and I think in an overall satisfactory way. Just sad that like a few episodes ago, this culture could have cured her, and he could have seen her grow up and spent time with her and stuff, as opposed to, yes, he literally saw her grow up, but he missed every minute of it. So it's kind of heartbreaking at the same time as it is like, okay, she's alive and safe, and that's all you really want for your kids is to be safe and happy.
Do you think now that we've gone through all of them so far that the daughter story is underbaked?
100%, yes. Yeah. We really needed more context. It would have been better if this was like a season 2 or season 3 episode, honestly, where he's dealing with it more, and he sees every time you bring her to the transporter buffer, she looks worse.
Yeah. So it feels like we've just got started, and how you've explained the story, and we're already at the end. It's not enough. And it's not to say it was really that interesting stuff, but once you summarise the entire season, yeah, it feels underbaked to me. But I don't think I'm going to swap polls, though, guys. I asked you guys over 237 votes. Stranger World Season 1, did you? With a resounding win at 66%, loved it. 22% liked it. 7% it was okay, and overall not for me at 5%. So one of our very few decreasing orders of enjoyment. Yes. So there you go. Yes. What a success. And now I'm going to put in a poll for your favourite of our clear favourites based on our scores. So you can see which you like best out of ones we like best. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So this one was, as a parent, was quite interesting to watch. Definitely some conflicting emotions at the end, but overall a very fun episode. It was more of a lighthearted one generally until the end where you kind of got gut punched a little bit. And then we got the just trying to think, the end, the Una and Umbanga scene was good. Like, she knew about the daughter for a while. She made sure that the transporter buffer had a constant supply of energy from the warp core. So she is also, breaking the rules essentially. I don't think she told Pike, but Pike knows that she's genetically altered, so he's keeping it. It's a weird chain of people disobeying the rules and regulations, but it's fine. It's what it is. So overall, a really good episode. Just for the fun lightheartedness of them playing against type, character-wise, and seeing the ship. Again, the ship transformed was cool, but if the ship was constantly transforming to the state that eventually there would be no hull and they would basically all die at some point, would be also something that I think was missing from this episode. So it could have been better, but overall it was kind of fun. And this one really made me appreciate Hemmer quite a bit, actually, and which is sad considering what the next episode is. So, I'll wait till you're done the poll till I get my score. But let's try to get those likes up, guys. We're at 124, which is awesome. Let's try to get to 150. If any of you haven't hit like, I don't know if Little King is still watching, but if you are, make sure you hit that like button. It'll help us out.
Well, no, yeah, I'll do the poll after I do this. Unless we don't think would this be in one of our top 4? Do you think?
Let me just take a quick look.
I don't think so.
Top 4, probably not. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Might be my 5th kind of thing.
Okay. 1 second.
Like I said, guys, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I've heard reports that a lot of people who thought they were subscribed are no longer subscribed. So click that subscribe button. Make sure that you are. And yeah, we'll have a new poll for you guys in a minute here. Any other super chats would be great. I would love to have a shot.
Yes.
George Mangrum, yes, he paid for a shot, but for Sam.
I wish I did, but I'll do another one.
We're taking another shot. Oh.
I'll
have half a shot of my peach schnapps.
Right, so vote in the poll. Stuart, read out, because I like it when you read our polls.
Oh, I got a poll to read. Woohoo! Of these 4 episodes, which you like best? Episode 7, Serene Squall with Cybok, which is spelt wrong again. There's no C in Cybok. Episode 5, Spock Amok. Spelt Amok wrong. No C in Amok. Body Swap. Episode 10, Quality of Mercy. Wrath of Khan. Oh, Monster Mirror. Gotcha. Episode 9, The Gorn. Right now, Xenomorphs.
Limited space, I had to be creative with each one.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, this one is interesting. I know I liked it, but in now re-watching, re-skimming, I'm left thinking, it's a great bit of sci-fi, but do they have to use one of their 10 Stranger Worlds on it? Because if you remove the Star Trek from it, that's a few minutes of it. Because it's so committed to the bit of the other stuff that it could be a lot of the shows. It could even just be a fantasy show with a sci-fi twist. It's too straight, it's too serious in its tone of silliness. And I said this at the time.
It would have been better almost to be season 2 or 3 where we know the characters better, so to see them turn against type would have been better, but...
Yes, I could see that being. For me, and I said this at the time, this really needs the full integration of the magic of the ship. Have that be a giant funny plot point. Great Oracle, tell us how much damage we have sustained. 43% working. Thank you, Oracle. And he has to bow every time, and then you cut to a phaser, and they're like, yes, the stick, the blue death. Play up to it, because then each thing could be highlighted and integrated by the Trek. Then you suddenly have, they're using hyperspray. They're using a TOS atmospheric belt. They go into all these rooms and locations that make sense in the Trek continuity, rather than just corridor as trees, talking to knights. It's very in a single lane of cool. It could have been so much more, and it's it's one episode. The Hammer thing's nice, great, good for him. That helps. But then it suddenly goes to the end. It swaps tact into the whole thing with the daughter, and it's an instant end, almost as if they had not planned this to the end, and they sort of had to decide they were going to speed up the project because they didn't want to bring it back in season 2, which is understandable. It's a big plot to do. Fine. So it's an episode that I liked, but I would not choose to watch again because there's so little of what I like in Star Trek in this, relative to runtime, and certainly it gets a bit boring. I remember saying I was just a bit bored by the middle because you know exactly what's happening, and that's it. You know, so it's not bad. It's not even not good, but it's the least Star Trek episode out of the 10. Now having seen all 10, what do you think?
I would agree.
Okay.
I like your idea of integrating the Star Trek tech into the world of Elysium would be cool, but yeah, I mean, enjoyment-wise, I really did enjoy this one above some of the other ones, like Lift Us Up Where Suffering Cannot Reach. I'd much rather watch this one just for the fun lightheartedness of it, of most of it. So,
but it's just so not.
It's the least Star Trek-y out of all of them, yes.
But it's sad because everyone does a good job and everyone has fun. But it also makes me sad that Ortega's best episode is not playing Ortega's.
But the book's written by Benny Russell.
I was going to get a quote in there, but I couldn't think of it. No, it's real, Stuart. It's real. You know.
It's real to me. Can't take away an idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's. Oh, yeah. Or we joked previously. It really could have done with this. Would have been doubly fun, and I'll extend price a bit more. It needed the ship being slowly converted fully. So that at a certain point in the episode, which you went outside into a real forest, and the massive juxtaposition where you can imagine how there's a scene where Hemmer's talking to they've escaped, they're walking through the forest, and they turn a corner, and Hemmer's talking about when Megan says, "Well, we're in this magical world, can you do magic?" "I cannot, Doctor." And turn a corner, and now they're in an actual real forest. It's like, what did you do? I thought nothing. And then now they're now they've got the scope of this they're doing like a they add like baubles to the sky, so it has a trees, so it has a certain vibe. You have this certain extra. We go to a waterfall and you add some CG elements, except like there's a bit of extra oomph that's missing. It just stays the same thing, and the fact that the same sets all time, yeah, yeah. So good, not great. Missed opportunity in a few ways. My score, I think 7.6, 7.6, which is still great, just not 8 great.
Yeah. Score-wise. I go to 7.9. I can't imagine what I scored this the first time around. Damn. All right. Well, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
Next up, episode 9, Star Trek Alien. All Those Who Wander. Sorry. This is the Gorn episode, the Xenomorph episode. Find a crashed ship, but it's a Sombra class. They're fast ships, don't you know? Built with Constitution class parts.
Both the outside and the inside, and
the
all of the outside.
Same configuration as a Constitution class.
All the exact same spec.
Therefore, It's a Constitution class. Anyway,
they couldn't even have said it's a Sombra class subvariant of a Constitution class.
Yes.
Like that would have been 50% better.
It's the Sombra class variant of a Connie. Boom. So they find it. Everybody's dead. They get the captain's log saying, "Don't even come here. It's not even worth it." The ship had picked up some refugees. One was in Orion, and some other people. 2 of them are still alive. There's an alien, a blue alien, and a little girl named Newt. And they come at night mostly. They mostly come at night. Anyway, moving on. We lose some people, or a person, to these little tiny little back bursters, baby Gorn, hatch inside people that are birthing sacs. And it's got some terror elements to it. It definitely feels very alien, very xenomorphy, but they have predator vision, these creatures. And their little tiny one is able to carry away a big guy really quickly. Just a lot of shit that doesn't make any sense. And anyway, they don't like the cold, so this girl is hiding in the coldest part of the ship. And we got Lon playing the role of Ripley, who looks after her and can relate because she's survived the Gorn, been on a birthing planet. She's seen all this before. And they end up coming with a plan. The Gorn actually, they fight for dominance, so they have them fight each other to the point where there's only one left. And then they take out the final Gorn and they tow the ship away. This episode was disappointing for many reasons. Kind of trashed any previous thing we thought or knew about the Gorn. But we only saw the Gorn in arena. How can you say? There's a lot of reasons we can say that, first of all. So that's a bit of the problem with this episode. It was fun enough. I just wish there would have been Gorn. I wish there would have been something else that would have been perfectly fine. But to be the Gorn just takes me kind of out of it a little bit, unfortunately. We got Sam Kirk freaking out. Game over, man. Game over. And damn. I don't know. There's a lot to like here, but there's also a lot that just shits all over Star Trek canon, and I don't appreciate that. So
that's a good summary right there. There's a lot of great and a lot of ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Could have been any other show other than Star Trek, honestly. So.
Well, it was aliens.
Or just make them not the Gorn.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I said to you at the time, the best reveal is not actually Gorn. They're a Gorn species. The Gorn know them and they take them to destroy planets. They're not the Gorn. They're a Gorn, slave race or creature race. They utilize to cause havoc. That would be an amazing reveal. So that Lon, everything she thinks she knows is wrong. That's just their dogs. That would be a phenomenal reveal, and it might still be, but we can only judge it at this point.
Yes, we don't have the foreknowledge.
And I can't see them.
3 episode 4 that explains it all.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. Yeah, this one's funny. I know I like it, but I don't like lots of it.
Yep.
This
was the tough.
I wonder if that they said, okay, right, so we are going to change every set into Destroyed Enterprise, right? That's going to cost $130,000 to do. Okay. Get the cast on with COVID, another $400,000. Right. Plus the Gorn animatronic, another $100K. All these things. And then they said, right, what are we going to do about the exterior? Fuck it. We save money. Right, okay. What are we going to do about the graphics? Fuck it, save money. Okay. And then things like that. It feels like a few things just sort of were done to kind of cheap out. I can't imagine that was an intentional reference. It doesn't feel intentional. It feels like a purely cost saving. And then the Spock thing's interesting, losing his emotions and maybe being dangerous later. That's interesting. The birthing thing is horrific and gross and great. The prosthetic guy was great. Although I didn't notice him in other episodes. I wonder where he popped up as you.
I'll have to go back and watch.
He's not in the first 4. We just watched the first. I just watched the first 4. He's not in those 4.
I saw that alien one other time before. I don't know if it was maybe a leaked production photo or something, but I've seen him before. I'll have to go back and watch them all. See if I can find him.
It's just, and there is always this advantage of having the same sets in every other scene. You can't by definition have a great production value, and of course, why don't they turn the lights on? Why don't they even use the
power's back? Really? Because turn some shit on then.
Yeah, either you crash or destroyed, but your warp core still works apparently, which means you're not whatever. Lights are one of the most redundant, robust things you're going to have because they're just core, same with gravity. And also, you can just shoot the thing.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot in my summary that Hammer got infected because of the venom and.
Which means that the easiest thing to reproduce ever. You just cough on somebody, it reproduces you. And it was so strange. This came out right on the heels of Orville, the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Alien race evolves quickly, comes from a particle, can reproduce in a day or less, is intelligent but not too much. That's insane. And that was filmed years ago. That was like the same.
The only
thing.
difference, the only difference was that that one actually converts its host to the alien species instead of killing them and bursting out of them.
Sure, but it's vibe-wise very similar.
Yeah.
I just there's always a point of homage to ripping off to we can't think of enough ourselves. Have the Newt be a boy, or an alien would have helped, not a girl who looks like Newt. Just that by itself would help. Have it be an Andorian, have it be a Tellarite, have it be a Tellarite that argues. You know what I mean? And therefore you can't get the points across. Even in adversity, it's still arguing. You're like, hey, it's still got its cool spirit.
But don't you know that the Tellarite young, they apologize for everything, and they're super sweet, and they're so nice. They give all the other young treats to the point where they eat too much and get diabetes and die. So that they're the alpha Tellarite, and then when they get older and become the old Tellarite, then they become argumentative and grumpy.
No, you're right. If they don't touch the aliens from Trek, they can't mess them up. Stuart has a fair point. Maybe they shouldn't use them. Yeah.
Well, Shannon Nash threw in $5 and says, I really like episode 8. I watched the behind the scenes of it and have an even deeper appreciation for the level of detail, time, and effort they put in for the Elysium Kingdom. Yes. Juan's dress. That's all I'll say. I will have a drink for that.
Yeah, this one for me, it just doesn't quite work. Mostly because it's just it's a rip-off of other things. That's the problem.
Bill Barkley said, by the way, was I mistaken? Was there a motion sensor in this episode?
No.
I believe there was something similar for tracking it. But they said they couldn't track it on sensors.
Yes. And that was the radar thing in space in the previous one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is very similar. Yeah, also to retcon the Gorn, you can't scan them, you can't sense them, you can't blah 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 blah. Now for me this one is gonna I'm not gonna dive on too much, but it's just it's weaker than the sum of its parts. Because parts are so derivative. I think I'm gonna give it less than last week's than episode 8 because just so many more things are wrong with it versus don't quite work. There is a difference there. I'm gonna say 7.1. Just still, I enjoyed it. Just
yes,
compared to
yes, 7.8 for me.
Okay.
Professor Rentz, they should have had a Temerian on the away team. Would have been Valyria. I'm trying to explain there's an alien killing everyone.
I mean, hard to explain how they had one that early, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so season finale, Stuart, the epic conclusion.
Quality of mercy.
Quality of episode. We still have stuff coming out for it, guys. So tune in and watch that stuff.
Hey, we got a new ship class, even though it should have been a Constitution class.
Stuart, we have 3.
Oh yes, the Romulans. Yes.
No,
all right.
This one's great.
Yeah. Old Pike, Wrath of Khan uniform shows up, says, "Don't change your fate, dude. Problems ensue." What kind of problems? Jump to 7 years later. Balance of terror. But with Pike in command. We get a Kirk. Kirk's captain of the frigate. They battle the Romulans. A lot of little differences and weird things, but hey, it's all because Pike changed his fate, apparently. Anyhow, Pike's worried that Kirk's going to make the wrong decision and start a war because he's too aggressive. And it turns out, no. In fact, it's actually Pike's his diplomacy skills that are in question. Trying to handle things the way he did was what actually caused a war. And we also find out that no matter how you change your fate, because there's all these different permutations of how he changed his fate that he talked to the Klingons at the monastery about, that no matter what, Spock will always suffer as a result. Except for in the Kelvin timeline, where Pike didn't have that accident. Yes, he ended up in a wheelchair and eventually did die. But, that one was fine. Spock was fine in that one. Anyway, This was a good one. This is just balanced terror, a lot of the same lines, a lot of the same lighting. Like a lot of the things in this one are really good. The reimagined Bird of Prey, which is just the antique Bird of Prey from Picard. The plasma torpedo effects. There's a lot of cool upgrades in this one, and it was fun to see an alternate reality. But Pike comes to terms with the fact that he has to let the accident happen. He has to be crippled. He has to let these children die. It's a bit of a shit show at the end, and you really appreciate the sacrifice that Spock makes for Captain Pike in the Menagerie parts 1 and 2 now as a result, because of their little scene at the end where he's like, "Are you talking about me, Captain?" And they kind of get that vibe that, you know, it deepens the Menagerie 100%. The Monster Maroon was great to see. Love that uniform, but it's an altered version of it. So is it great to see? Go watch our video on it. Few little changes that don't really work for us, but hey, it's them doing their own thing, their own visual spin-off on things, which they shouldn't be doing if they, state this is prime timeline. Fun episode though, great season finale. Seeing Kirk, wasn't the biggest fan of the actor playing Kirk, but this is apparently a different Kirk because he's not Captain of the Enterprise. So we'll see. He's going to be in season 2, and we'll see how much better he gets. But honestly, he doesn't really feel like Kirk to me. He doesn't have the gravitas or screen presence. But other than that, it was a great episode. Fun.
Yeah, it's an alternate, awesome balanced terror. We love the what ifs. It's a much betterly done version of the Gorn episode, which is lovely. And it's also a much better done Picard season 1 finale battle. It's the apology. We know we messed up there horribly. Let me just do it better, and great. They give time to Pike, a lot of time. The Romulan Commander, they give time. They give time for Spock a little bit. They recycle lines from Balanced Terror, work really well. You just can't tell they're so well integrated. The lighting's different and fun. The way that Anson acts old Pike is fantastic. The plot hole and the benefit of leaving everything vague time travel wise means you can't quite say, well, that doesn't make sense, because they didn't really develop an idea. They just sort of said, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it's, yeah, that's a reaction to that, but it still mostly works. It's the almost movie, and it does, in hindsight, make other ones of the season look worse because this one's so much better, which is really interesting. As a this just works. You can tell they were having fun, they were vibing, firing on cylinders, and it's sad, and it's one of those ones where nothing happens but everything happens. Yeah.
One thing that disappointed me in this one was Ortega's character.
Yes.
She turned into the Lieutenant Styles character from Balanced Terror. She's worked with Spock for at least... she shouldn't have been so harsh towards Spock when she found out the reveal of the Romulans, their appearance, but it's very quickly fixed. Like, well, Spock can agree with me, boom. And then since that moment, everything's fine. But I understand they needed that kind of bigotry analog in this episode. I just wish it wouldn't have been Ortega's. It should have been somebody else.
Whereas I think, people would still hate on Nazis if you suddenly found out your brother looked like a Nazi. You're still allowed to be annoyed at Nazis after all the genocide they did. So you're allowed to be pissed at Romulans for killing everyone they killed. It's okay for a few minutes, then you move on, which is what happened.
But he's a Vulcan, not a Romulan.
But she doesn't know they look Vulcan, he's Vulcan. I mean, who knows? They could be Vulcans. They were Vulcans, Stuart, remember? So she is right. They were Vulcans. I know you were. And plus, Vulcans...
I disagree with that analogy 100%.
That's fine.
Okay.
Because Vulcans are so iconic, and clearly no one else has the pointy ears to make that analogy, because they obviously have the face prosthetics as well. It's like seeing one of your best friends is twin brother. I don't know. It's just, yeah. It was on a line, but I thought it was fine.
Yeah. All right, well, Saucy Puppet Show. Damn, man. Throws in $100.
Okay, vodka coming out again!
Between the JJ movies and Discovery, I was getting a little tired of the retreads of the TOS era and wasn't super excited going into Stranger Worlds. As it turns out, it's been my favorite season of Trek in a long time. Keep up the good work, fellas. Thank you so much for Saucy Puppet Show. I'm definitely going to have a shot of McGillicuddy's peach schnapps to celebrate that super chat. I'm not going to have 4 shots because that would be brutal. I might have 2 though. I might have.
I'm gonna down this entire drink I just made.
I might have the peach schnapps.
Oh dear. Okay.
And I'm gonna also probably finish up my Jack Daniels.
Well, that stings.
My next shot will be the Tennessee
I'm
Fire.
doing 3 quarters. That stung. Oh. Whew.
I'm gonna do a half shot because I don't want to die.
This was. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh,
That made this Drunkyards
Yeah.
live worth
maybe
it.
I
Worth
should
it.
do. Maybe I should do a full
Ooh.
shot. It's
Ooh.
$110.
Ugh.
All right. Well, cheers.
My goodness.
See, we need these ones early in the show so they kicked in by
Yep.
the end.
Otherwise, we'll be
I'm
stopping.
not gonna feel this. I'm not gonna feel this for another hour and a half. Maybe an hour,
It's
maybe
okay.
half an hour. I don't know.
Sylvia gets to have that fun if the audience misses it.
She gets to watch me sit on the couch and groan because I have a headache.
Yes, the fun that would be fun for her, I'm sure.
Awesome.
Oh dear. All right, so score for this season finale.
9.4.
Oh.
Professor Rince, did you watch Prodigy? I really enjoyed the first season. Well, you haven't seen the first season yet. You've only seen half of it. There's still another 10 episodes to come for the first season. And yes, of course, we watched Prodigy.
If you want to know what we think, go back and watch our full reviews, either first reaction, spoiler filled, or breakdowns. Search Trekyards Prodigy, or scroll back a bit, and it is a buffet of choice. Absolute buffet. My score. I'll agree. 9.4. It loses out because the worst Wrath of Khan costume, and I feel the small things are just like. I mean, come on, getting a 10 is very hard. You know, like if they'd done a Wrath of Khan costume faithfully, and changed the bridge to look more like TOS, as they would have done Enterprise or TNG or Voyager or DS9, that would have made it a 10. Like, oh, we do respect TOS canon, we're just not doing it yet. That would have.
Yeah. The only way they can get a 10 score, I think, from us is if they have an episode where it's like, oh, this ship design, I don't know. We've come up with some upgrades. They take the ship into dry dock, and the whole thing is just like you're seeing the ship get.
And they just go film on Ticonderoga. Like they could do it. You got full standing sets.
Because there's a shit ton of money. Sean O'Sullivan, €2. Dauntless is 80818, and Prodigy 76884. So going up. Yes.
But you don't know when they're both from.
Exactly.
But yes, it did cross the 8, which is a big thing to do.
Yep.
As we talked about. Alright, I will combobulate those scores.
Please do.
Yeah.
Guys, go vote in our poll. We have 60 votes, a lot less than the first vote we had. So if we can get to 100, if you haven't voted, go vote. Hit that like button. I want to get up to 150 likes if possible. Keep the super chats coming. I mean, we're still going to sit and chat for a little bit just about the season as a whole. If you have anything specifically you want to talk about, super chat us so we have to drink and then answer your super chat. That'd be a great way to end up as Drunkyards. That's what these are designed for. So we want to hang out with you guys and just like shoot the shit and get drunk and have fun. So now's your chance. We've talked about the entire season, so please come around and let us know about any of the episodes you want us to talk more about, anything specifically in the episodes. Now's your chance. Because we have covered them all now, and yeah. Barkley, are Trekyards going to San Diego Comic-Con? No, I'm not. I've heard it's a fucking nightmare to be there. I do want to go at some point. I have a friend down there, Jason Vinik, who will put me up, but just wall-to-wall people, and they get in trouble for standing around. You got to move. You got to do things. I don't know. We'll see. I do want to attend San Diego Comic-Con at some point, but no, we won't be going as Trekyards. If I do go, it'll just be me, maybe Sylvia. But yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a day. I'm starting to feel the alcohol for sure. So I don't really know if I need any more, but if you guys want to see us drink, now's your chance. So I have weapons though. Got a Klingon disruptor, TOS. I got myself a Star Trek 3 phaser. Ow. And I got a TNG phaser rifle. Check this shit out. Yeah, phaser your asses. I am Locutus of Borg. You know it's true. So yeah. Prodigy also surprised me how good it was. It felt way more Trek than Discovery and Picard. Hell yes, it did. We have an interview with Mr. Andrew Waldke, who's one of the producers on the show, who's been a fan of Trekyards for years. And yeah. So.
All right. I have got scores.
Cool.
Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
So.
I was born ready.
Now, in the olden days, we used to do compared to all Trek, and that allowed for a second metric. So now there are joint numbers because we stopped doing that. So that is what it is.
Okay.
So the original set of scores. Okay.
I'm ready.
I'm telling you what your top 10 is, Stuart. Are you ready for this?
Give it to me.
The scores, right?
Well, we're not together, so yes.
Oh.
I mean, what? Yes.
Okay, so your number 1, your favorite episode of all of Strange New Worlds season 1 was episode 5, Spock and Mock. That won your original first place.
Okay.
With 9.6.
Holy shit.
Episode
I was at Wonderfest. I was happy.
Yes, you were. Episode 10 was 9.4. And episode 1 was a 9. Episode 8, The Elysium Kingdom, was 8.8. And episode 4, which was the Gorn one, 8.6. And episode 2, Children of the Comet, 8.5. Then The Serene Squall at 8.4. Then episode 6, the Child Death one, at 7.8.
Okay.
Ghost of Valyria was your 9th place at 6.9, so that was a jump down of 0.9. And your lowest ranked of this season was episode 9, the Gorn episode, at 6.7. The first time. So Ghost of Valyria and the Gorn episode, the last one, the aliens, 6.9 and 6.7 respectively. Thoughts?
Okay.
That was your original, most truest review.
Not surprised, actually. Spock and Mock, I don't know if you'd be quite so high.
Yes, 9.6 is a bit of a...
I was skewed in that one, sorry.
I'm sure because it was just rapid,
It was on location. It's fine.
So just reiterate for the audience, episode 5, episode 10, episode 1, episode 8, episode 4, episode 2, episode 7, episode 6, episode 3, episode 9. Bosh. Okay. My scores, I voted as my favourite episode 10.
Okay.
Mocked Bounce Terror 2. My number...
Quality of Mercy.
Yes, my number 2 was Stranger Worlds. My second place was the first episode. Then Serene Squall with 8.9. Then Mamita Moore, 8.9. Then Children of the Comet at 8, midway. But I've got 3 8s. So episode 2, 8, and 9 are all 8. Ghost of Valyria, 7. Episode 6, which was... the child one was my second least favorite, 7.9, and Spock and Mock was 5. Hold on, that's because it came with it.
Bill Barkley. No, the Lower Decks is being released October 25th or August 25th.
Yes,
August 25th. So it's not gonna have to wait till September.
So shockingly, Stuart, unlike normal, you gave the lowest scores this year.
Really?
Yes.
It's really weird.
It is really weird. My lowest score was actually goes to Valyria at 7 out of 10. Yours was the Gorn episode at 6.7.
Okay.
You gave 2 6s, 1 7, 4 8s, 3 9s. I gave 3 7s, 5 8s, 2 9s. Now the new scores, you've now rated episode 10 the best.
Okay.
Spock and Mark the second best.
That sounds more in line with how it should be.
Serene Squall the third best. Children of the Comet the fourth best. Strange Worlds the fifth best. Child Death the sixth best. Elysian Kingdom the seventh best. Ghost of Valyria the eighth best. The Gorn episode the ninth best. And now the first Gorn episode the worst.
Memento Mori. They're one of everybody's favorites.
So the two Gorn episodes are your worst now, Stuart. Both Gorns back to back.
Perfect. I like it. I'm happy.
My top is episode 10, then episode 1, episode 5, episode 7, episode 6, episode 8, episode 3, episode 9, episode 4, and Children of the Comet is my worst. So in this version of the scores, my worst is lower than your score. You gave Children of the Comet 8.9, I gave 6.5. But we do have our... Apart from that, our bottom 5 match up.
Nice.
Your 10 is my 9, your 9 is my 8, your 7 is my 6. For 4.
So...
Wow.
My buddy at the vape shop, Little King, says, now that my girlfriend and I are caught up on the Orville, she wants to start one of the Star Trek shows. Which show would you recommend we start with? Any thoughts on that? I said maybe Strange New World might be best, because it's the newest one. Check it out. Get you hooked. Then you watch all the other ones. What are your thoughts?
Always start with TOS, because it has the strongest stories once you get going.
Turn them off, though, I think, knowing this guy.
Well, that's different. Because if you go anything else apart from TOS, it'll look dated. If you watch it, you get absorbed into it very quickly, and that's where the core of characters come from and the universe. Always start chronological, because every other show builds upon it. Any other show, if you do it in any other order, everything will look weird. If you go from Enterprise to Discovery to TOS to Strange Worlds to TOS, it'll look whack. Why has everything changed so radically? Go fully chronological. Enjoy the evolution of the universe as it was intended, rather than all over the place, personally. Because TOS has some great stories, and season 1 is a very strong season.
That's normally the answer I would give, but considering that she's just getting into sci-fi, she just finally watched the Orville with him.
Well, Prodigy then. She won't like Lodex, she won't get it.
Maybe TNG. Because it's the most
season
like
1's not good, and that's not a season to get you in. Season 1 of TOS is much better than season 1 of TNG. Prodigy, because it's fun. You won't get Voyager, but you don't have to. So maybe Prodigy to get them hooked, and then back to TOS.
There you go. Prodigy, then TOS.
But then you've got to rewatch Prodigy after you've seen TNG, because then all the references only work then. So anyway, Stuart.
Very difficult question.
Yeah.
All right. So we got some super chats. Verpine asks, puts in $5 and asks, what do you think is the biggest failure and success of the season?
Cast, biggest success.
Yes.
Biggest failure, Gorn. Went the wrong direction.
100% agree with those two answers. Oh, the writing is also one of the biggest successes.
Yeah. But the fact they, in contrast to Discovery, the cast on the worst parts of it. And no particular alien. Well, no Klingons also, but yeah.
Patrick James, $20. Oh. Which of the episodes do you wish you could have been a cast member? Only one episode allowed. Out of these episodes, which one would we have liked to be a cameo in?
There's some great answers I could give for that.
Well, Quality of Mercy would be great to be tied with that, because you're also then kind of tied with Balance of Terror.
Yeah. Well, Ultimate Balance of Terror.
The Serene Squall would have been good. Would have been a pirate. One of the pirates would have been kind of neat as a cameo, or actually one of the non-existent crew members of the Enterprise. I would love to be firing at the pirates, trying to defend the Enterprise because they're sorely lacking that.
Be the red shirt who does get killed.
Exactly. Those are my two answers right off the top of my head.
Yeah, Serenes will also hit me as it'd be fun to be a pirate on the bridge. Because like one guy's like, yeah, Captain. It's like, well, that's just some guy you know. That's just some guy off the street. You know, like that's just some, you know. But it can be fun to be one of the Vulcan convicts. But like, if it could be in a scene with Cyborg, because then I get the full makeup. It'd be kind of cool, you know, see myself as a Vulcan. As long as they brought me back. Yeah, really. There's not too many Starfleet things to pull from, but yeah. Which is
good question though.
Very good question. Yeah. What about you?
We need more. We need more super chats like that.
It's true. Well, $13 more, and we can round out to a double our minimum, which is actually our minimum for live for drunks. So that's great. $13, and we hit our minimum for this sort of live. Excellent.
Fryku Sharp. Good evening from Croatia. I hope a Duckhorn looks like the one from Enterprise Intermere Darkly. And on that note, it's time for an ad. And we're back.
Welcome back,
all
everyone.
Right, so
definitely buy that product.
Croatia.
You know, like that product. When you should just right now, exactly. Credit card, go.
Yeah. My wife is from Croatia, so hello to Croatia. Good to see you. Dean Badger, though, $5. Off topic. Nothing's off topic on Drunkyards. Come on now. But I need to know, Samuel, how many decks does your USS Sayer have?
Ooh. Well, I have MSD. I can tell you very specifically. That's a. I thought I was going to say Horizon there. I have both as MSDs. I can tell you. Let me find that. Stephen
Nye, can we agree that Paul Wesley as Kirk was more like Jim Carrey as Kirk on Saturday Night Live? Stardate. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting sick of the Jim Carrey comparisons, only because he looks like Jim Carrey with those bushy eyebrows. He didn't have the same vibe as Jim Carrey at all. So no, I disagree with you. Sure, he looks a little like him, but
yeah, I wouldn't agree with vibe, but look, yes,
it definitely makes you appreciate Chris Pine a lot more.
That's what I said. Yeah,
yeah, you did. Yeah, absolutely.
Good for him.
And it was in living color. Yeah, it wasn't Saturday Night Live. It was in living color. Thank you, Corbin.
Let's see.
We're sorting out decks.
Yeah.
Deck numbers right now. Guys, hit that like button if you haven't, though. Another 6 likes to get to 150. That'd be amazing. And yeah, as Samuel said, we need another $20 to get to our minimum for one of these at least. Which is still not great. We could do it with another $100 one. Sauce Puppet Show. Just saying. Make me suffer for the rest of the goddamn day and night.
I've got to wake up early tomorrow for.
I know you do. So make Samuel suffer, guys. Down. Super chat.
There is real pain you could cause.
Yes. Let's make Samuel suffer. That's hashtag make Samuel suffer. Kind of like Daniel must suffer from Stargate.
So I can't find on MSD, which is weird, but I can find the video of the thing. I think it's 6. Based on this, but I'm surprised why I can't. Oh, he put it all in one texture. Okay, that's weird. But why is it compressed? Oh, it's
Can you share it on screen so they can see? They might want to see. Ooh.
Yes. Okay.
Verpine says, what do you think the security officer was looking at the end of Equality of Mercy and looked at the ceiling when they transported out?
Porn. Someone just left it out there.
Yeah. It was like, ooh, transporter, this is neat. I'm glad that my uncle invited me to be a cameo appearance. That's what it felt like. It was like a very out of character, like, ooh, fancy lights. It didn't fit with the whole vibe, unfortunately. It seemed like one of the cast members' cousins or relatives was asked to be on the show.
Yeah, so I can't seem to find the real MSD, but this is the version part of the main texture, and you can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks. It's not big.
That's great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, it's in a
You want to tell them why it's named the Sayer?
after my mum.
Yep. His mom's maiden name.
Which is the name she goes by, so it's just her name.
Oh, her name.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sylvia goes by Godovac still, so.
Yeah. Just her name.
JB, shit, $25. Hashtag shoot Sam. A shot Sam, I think he means. I will have a shot as well, just for that. But, yes. Sam,
Okay. Right. I thought it'd be the end of the vodka.
I'm gonna finish my Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire,
Yeah,
which I don't think is a full shot.
And like Stuart said, this would have been great an hour ago, 2 hours ago, but we're going to come away from this be like, alright!
All I got left, so that's what I'm gonna have, because the shot wasn't for me.
Let's up the green screen, and that's what it's going to be like.
Yeah, we need to, like, get almost tipsy before we start, so it gets more interesting as we go.
And,
Because nobody chimes in at the start with super chats. They always wait till the end, and then we suffer for the rest of the day off screen. You don't get to see us like, hey, I wanted some food.
well, unless we do a costume change, and then some amazing people come like 50, 50, 50. Then it sort of burns through our gullets a bit more.
Yeah, we usually have costume change at $50.
Well, that's not for a retrospective, but Stuart then.
We don't get changed on camera. That's a $1,500 super chat.
Well, that would make a difference to our month. So Stuart, what are your closing thoughts on the season as a whole? Now I've sort of rethought about the whole thing. What do you think?
Well,
how would you say?
Let me address Saucy Puppet Show's
Okay,
$5
just ignore me
super
then.
chat
Just
first.
ignore me straight. Okay.
I do. I tend to do that. I'm the captain. It's my prerogative. I watched Kingdom of the Spiders, starring mid-70s Shatner, and even outside of the Kirk role, saw some similarities between him and Pine. Yeah, he was in the Twilight Zone twice, and yeah, definitely feels like a Chris Pine type character. So I'll have a drink for that one as well. All right, the season as a whole, best new live-action Trek that they have. Very much firing on all cylinders. Episodic, has the Star Trek feel. Great casting. They listened to the fans, not only in creating this show and asking for a Pike spin-off series, but for returning to the Star Trek feel and storytelling vibe of episodic and fantastic characters. This marries the elements of all the other Treks like Voyager, DS9, TNG with the TOS kind of storytelling structure, and I think that's done very well. I'm already starting to slur my words, so that's not good. What's the question?
How much do you love me? That's the question, Joe.
Oh, he's fucking great. The Commander, we couldn't do Trekyards without him. This channel, we are the hardest working Star Trek YouTubers on YouTube, hands down, and Samuel definitely takes like 80% of that burden. So
Well, I take 80% of listen to you, and you take 80% of listen to the audience. Burden.
that's true.
Yes.
That's true. But without you, we wouldn't have a show. So
Yes.
I mean, I would have my sitting in a room talking,
Yes.
but nobody wants to listen to that shit.
I'll drink to that. Okay, guys. For $30,
Oh, Jesus.
I will show you a still of a new fan film I want to release next month. It's a TNG remastered visual effects shot in movie vibe.
Movie vision.
$30 and I'll throw it on the screen. I will
It's like 3D from SCTV.
I'd like to see how you guys would like. I'd like to see what you guys think of it, because I'm quite
All right,
pleased.
a $30 super chat for that, guys.
One of my favourite shots of the last year I've made, so that's quite a thing to say. $30.
The Saucy Puppet Show, $2. Mid 1970s, not 70s as in his age. I'm aware. We're not entirely stupid.
Although today, speaking of, Shatner is currently on the Enterprise again.
He is. He's a Ticonderoga right now.
And I want to do that before I die. Well, before he dies, well, I'm going to die, but it's so expensive.
It is. We've been there to Ticonderoga a few times.
Yeah, but seeing Kirk in the chair, that's a whole different thing.
That's a whole...
So I've been with Kirk on a crappy set of the Enterprise, and that's nice. But it's not the same.
Yeah.
I have a friend that runs a convention circuit, and he's been 4 times. It's like, Bastard.
JB, $5.
Thank you.
Sam, how likely are you to get the modified maroon uniform from the season finale? Drink, buddy.
Stuart, what is your answer to my question to me?
0%.
Well, if someone gives it to me for free, I'll take it.
Won't invest the money.
Well, because the
sure.
problem is, it'd have to be a cheap Chinese version because no real person's going to make it properly, and they're going to be crap. So it's not the sort of costume you can half-ass, and even
if it's made perfectly like one in the show, it still looks half-assed.
Yeah,
it looks like a fan version because of the cut. It just doesn't feel as crisp and clean and good as the actual Honest Maroon.
I'm plenty happy with my hero problems. I'm
yeah, he's got one. So
I'm content.
I want one. We're gonna do a crowdfunding campaign where $2,000 will get me one. We're gonna do it because I want one.
Cool.
I deserve one. I'm a captain. God damn it! I've been a Star Trek fan since before he was fucking born. If he has a Monster Maroon, what? I quit. God damn it! Disrupt you into oblivion.
Sound effects do not maketh disruption. No, you've actually used the destruction, Stuart. You can't just. Yes.
Hey, it's great. You gotta add the special effects. That's why I need Samuel.
I don't need to. 9 more votes. Vote on the poll, guys. I'd like to know what is your favourite of those 4. We've got interesting arrangement there. So vote now or forever hold your vote.
Testicles. JB, $2 or $5. God damn it. JB, $5. Cap, I think you have a good point. You and Sam should pre-energize the alcohol plasma system for the start of each Drunkyards drink. Yeah, but yeah, it is a good idea. It's like pre-drinking before you go to the club, but we rely on the income from this. So if you're already started drunk, you're already laughing your ass off. You don't need to get us plastered. What you guys need to do is in the first 30 minutes is give those $125 super chats and get us plastered immediately so that 2 hours later we're like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Instead of at the end, which we appreciate.
Well, need. It's beautiful.
Appreciate and need is the same word, just said nicer. But yeah, Craig S23 puts in £4.50.
Thank you. What a guy. What a guy.
Which is like $5,000 Canadian, so thank you. The latest Trek have had some ups and downs for me, but alas, cheers to you two for keeping an even keel throughout your insightful insight. Cheers. Thank you. We appreciate that because that's what our channel is based around. We love all Star Trek with its flaws. We look at the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we point it out and we compare it to what it should be, how it should look. That's what Trekyards does. So we appreciate you guys tagging along for our complaints and gripes and also our praise because no Trek is without its flaws. No Trek is perfect. So, boom, baby.
Yeah, and we suffer from the lack of views from both sides. But actually, that means that we have.
We do suffer forever-wise. God damn it.
But I honestly, I can't. I get some people are just positive people in general, but I can't get somebody that just reviews something and loves everything about it. But it's always kind of funny to me to see a YouTuber who I would associate with being overly positive for the sake of it. Suddenly you say, I don't like this one, and being like, aha, you have your own limits. You know? It's kind of satisfying versus the negative ones who normally can't find anything positive, so there's never any movement there.
Ketwelski hasn't been around forever. Mm-hmm. Love the guy, but he was super positive all the time. Mm-hmm. It's like, really? Is there nothing you didn't like? I can't even trust your opinion because everything is showered with praise. Same with like Doomcock, the opposite end of the spectrum. Nothing new is good. It's not true. There's good sprinkled all throughout, even Discovery. You just got to look for it.
Well,
actually watch the fucking show.
Yeah. No, it's bizarre to me. And we both appreciate, luckily, the idea of going by scene. No one else does that, as far as I'm aware, anywhere on the internet. Analyze scene by scene. Because each scene we look at as a microcosm as well. We can say, this scene's amazing, this dialogue's amazing, this vibe is amazing. Versus, I've seen review channels that do 20 minutes on an episode with a 5-minute pre-show and a 5-minute thank you to Patreons. It's like, how can you summarize an episode in 10 minutes and say it's great for these 5 reasons? Like, but what about this scene, this moment, this? So much nuance is required in these scenes. And I edit down our reviews to make it as poppy as possible. That's on purpose, so that, it's just the best stuff. But yeah, these things are diverse and broad and important, and none. I mean, to go back to our scores for a second, just going to with our new scores. Your lowest score for Special Season 1 was 6.8, which is not a terrible score.
Is that for both scorings, like first and second round?
Second round was 6.8, first round was 6.7. Bosh.
Okay.
It was not the same episode. You lowered. Oh wow! You lowered Memor Timur from 5th to 9th.
Memento
No,
Mori,
10th.
yeah.
From 5th to 10th. From 8.6 to 6.8.
I have dyslexia. I just mixed the numbers up.
Yeah, but real low. My lowest score was 6.5. My last lowest score was 7. It was. Oh, I also last time my worst was Ghost of Valyria at 7. That was 7.5 here. Children of the Comet was 6.5, and that was my 5th. We're very similar 5th down to last because scale change. About 8 down to 6.5. My goodness. So your worst of the season was Memento
Mori.
And my lowest was Children of the Comet.
Yeah. Bill Barkley says, "Oh, Trekyards. By the way, I heard that Robert Meyer Burnett has seen episodes of Picard season 3. Bullshit. And he actually says he's got good things to say about it. Definitely improvement over the previous 2. Yes, trust me, we know a lot about season 3 of Picard. You guys are going to be impressed. That's all I'll say.
I don't doubt.
We've been saying that before Burnett put out that fucking post or that tweet.
That was a funny post to read. That was
I've been saying that for a while now. If you go back and watch our stuff, trust me, season 3 of Picard is going to be better.
Because it's not at all like season 2 or 1.
Exactly.
That's why it's better. No, I don't doubt you saw an early cut. It did amaze me how positive he was, because he's been at least a creatively negative vibe. He at least is a filmmaker that can actually discuss why.
Little King says, "I'm dyslexic too, man. It's all good." I hope you did that on purpose, because if not, the irony. Number 1 special, or no one special, but we always say number 1 special to you. I don't know what you're going for with that name, by the way. $5. How much to get Sam in a uniform for a wedding on Beta Z? I mean nude. And $5,000 super chat as captain. I say that'll do it. But he'll only stand in front of his camera, and it only goes so high. So you choose whether you want to shelter.
But then I stand up and it all goes for nothing.
I'm just gonna leave that alone and move on. Paul Graham. Hey, Paul, how's it going? $20. Here's the start to your fund. Oh, Monster Maroon fund. Thank you. The reason I'm not happy with the last episode is because it's the last episode. # Sam. Recapture would like a visual graphics artist. I mean, for a price.
What does that mean?
You got him. I don't know. I'll have to talk to Paul about that.
I mean, I'm good at spaceships flying through space. My skill set is somewhat niche. It's a good niche, but it's a niche. I think for that 20, I'll show that picture I teased. We've accumulated up to that point.
Oh, for sure. And I gotta have a shot now because of Paul, you bastard.
Good. Okay, so my objective, Stuart, was to recreate this shot from the Next Generation. Now, I'm not trying to perfectly match
well,
it.
Before you show it, hold on.
Well,
before you show it, we actually got a $30 super chat, I think, specifically for that. JV says, know what might help get the donations earlier? In the title, put the word Drunkyards first, like Drunkyards, Strange New World, Season 1 Retro. Didn't see more than the first couple words on my phone notification, so I kept doing that assignments. True, yes, I agree with that 100%. I will modify that in the future, as will the thumbnail has it, but So,
Thank
JD,
you.
there's that $30 that you wanted for what you're going to show.
Phenomenal. So this is the shot, and I'll wait for Stuart to pop by when he sees it. This is a shot from TNG that I aim to recreate in 2 different angles because I need to buy time for a sequence. And I've never done this sort of shot before. I'm always inclined to do something different, and also something back for you guys.
Ooh, McKinley Station.
Yes, the Enterprise D at McKinley, which Andrew Pro would not be happy that the ship's got its Bassards and warp engines on because he always thought they should be off if they weren't going to warp, which would be boring. So he was always for that. This is my version.
You should have maybe turned down the brightness. Have them on, but be like in low power mode.
Sure. Now, the stars are there, but they're a bit.
That means Samuel disagrees.
Oh, I have no opinion either way. This is my recreation for the shot. There are stars, it's just, I guess, the black levels are a bit dark on this version. So yeah, anamorphic widescreen. Let me know when you see it and your thoughts.
Oh, nice. I do see it. It's great. I love McKinley Station. I love that idea of the claws that go down to like... But it's only designed for Galaxy-class ships.
Or Nebula.
Yeah. Well, no, because the arms are articulated at different points. It could house smaller ships, but it just seems out of place with the size of it, that's all.
But we do see a Nebula in it later. It's just missing the entire back bit. But yeah.
Yeah. It's cool. I like it.
You give your stamp of Trekyards approval?
Where's my stamp?
No.
Yes. Dean Badger.
Oh.
$5. What's your thoughts about Eagle Moss maybe going bankrupt? It's sad, but expected, in my opinion. I have a wall of Eagle Moss ships right beside me right now, all the XLs. It actually makes a wall, because I got a lot of them. Yeah, I know you got a lot too.
That's just my
those
active
are just regular
set.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the XLs beside me right now.
Yeah, I've got a storage unit
I'll turn
with
the
stuff.
camera so you guys can see. It's like a wall of Eagle Moss ships.
Yeah, once they started making bigger ones, it escalated heavily. Can you collect like 20 BSGs and 20 specials and 20 Discovery? It's a severe escalation of space loss. But yeah, what do you guys think of this shot? It's like a 20-second shot of a nice 3D parallax. Got a second shot as well, because you know, I wanted to show
pretty great.
it looking. It's obviously not as not as good as the original because it's not a real miniature, but everything kind of glows in its own way. It's got a unique vibe. 3D model's great.
Paul Graham, $10. I didn't like the last episode of Strange New Worlds because it was the last. Wow. You said that already. I want 16 plus more. Hashtag Sam Drink. Here's the last 10 for your picture.
Whoa. It's up.
Well, we already got it, but thank you, Paul. I appreciate that.
I'll show a different picture. We blew past our goal, which is lovely. So let me show another render then. Let me find something else that I did that I can show. What do I have that I can show?
Now I move my camera and my OCD's screaming at me. That's why I never move my camera.
Let's see. It's going to finish shots. Let's see.
Holy Gabriel says, love the 2-shot Sam. Looks amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Scott Day, all the new shows, the galaxy is always threatened. It's tiresome and unrealistic, as nothing made could possibly do that. Makes the shows nonsense, i.e. Picard and Discovery.
It is tricky, especially when you ignore both times you see devastatingly powerful aliens from another part of the galaxy. Ignored. So, but they would... No? Okay. Right, Stu, you tell me if you recognise this shot then. It's another one I recreated for a short film.
Graham says I didn't.
See if you guys can tell me this as well. Well, let's Stuart look at it for a second. What is this shot a recreation of? From what episode in TNG, Stuart? Audience, you tell me.
The neutral zone.
Well, we'll let the audience see if they know what it is. Oh no, more.
Maybe I'm wrong. I guess I'm wrong.
Dear.
Anyway, Paul Graham says I didn't think you understood. Oh, I did understand. I got you meant it's the last episode. There's no more, and there should be like another 16 in the season.
I'm happy for a rest. So I'm very thrilled.
I'm happy too, and the rest is only till the end of August, unfortunately, because that's when Lord X starts.
Yes.
So it's not September like we initially thought. So. Plus, we need to see the end of season 1 of Prodigy.
Yes.
10 more.
And you know that shit's gonna get wild. What with 2 Janeways and a Chakotay maybe, and where the hell do they go from there? The space of
Number 1 specials. Puts in $2.
Oh, thank you.
With the pivots, it could take much smaller ships. Yes, it could, but it would look silly. And no one special or number 1 special. What is the goal of your name? Is it to be number 1 special or no one special? Because people are clever online, and it looks like no one special, like you're not special. And I never subscribed to that. If you go back and watch the first time you commented and we talked about it, we always wanted to call you number 1 special because
you are number 1 to us.
Everyone is special. You should never say you're no one special. So let us know in the regular chat what your name means specifically, what your goal was when you created it.
Oliver says, Sam, did you ever meet Lee Stringer at Destination? This was the first model he built for Star Trek Voyager. Yes, he built a McKinley station for Voyager, which is a good model. Let's see. Do I have a selfie? I
gotta ask everybody here right now. Would you guys
did
like
I meet Lee
up?
Stringer? Yes, I did.
I want to ask everybody here. Would you just hang out with us in a live Drunkyards where we're just talking about whatever you guys want to talk about? Samuel says if we don't have a topic, nobody will show up, which I know is wrong because I do hangouts all the time. But if we're getting drunk and both of us are here and we're talking about whatever you guys want to talk about, would you want a general hangout discussion with the both of us? Would you tune up? Would you turn up? And would you join us in Super Chat and get us drunk? Because I say yes, he says no. We need a topic. We need a thumbnail. Something that'll grab them. Something that'll bring people in. And I totally disagree with him because I do them all the fucking time. Let us know.
Well, as someone would point out in the chat, if we had Drunkyards at the start of the thumbnail, at the start of the title, it would have come earlier. Which already proves the point that having a notable thing grabs people.
No one special, just one of the crowd. Oh, well, you're wrong. You're number 1 special to us. So
been here for a long time.
Shame on you for creating the name. That's what I thought when I first saw it. No one special. It's like a play
number
on words.
1. We say number 1.
Yep.
On our channel.
You're our Una. Even though she didn't make either one of our top 10 lists. Because she's not special. You are in fact special.
So those that are wondering, this is a recreation of the shot from Pegasus. When the Enterprise D detransphasic cloaks in front of the bird of prey, or the warbird. In fact, I actually recolored the warbird to match that one because it was way too green compared to other ones. But this isn't about that decloak, so it's meant to be the moment after. In the shot, it's really awkward because the ships are like off killed with each other for like the whole shot because they just reused stock footage. So mine actually had them meet and look at each other. And to be a bit of a smart ass, I actually took the actual asteroid shot from a shot from the show and used that because I thought, well, it's a certain vibe. So yeah. That was my recreation. Mwahaha.
Anthony Trania says, wasn't the Farragut a Nebula class in Generations? Yes, it was. That doesn't mean it wasn't a Constitution class in TOS, because it absolutely was. It's part of the list of 12 Connies.
Yes.
The name doesn't carry over to the same equivalent class unless it's a special ship, such as the Enterprise. So.
Okay. Because you guys are generous, I got one more. See if you know what this is from. Well, it's funny to throw like hours of work on screen as if they're nothing. There's another.
See? Okay. Captain Corky is like, are you guys kidding? No topic needed. Just some good Star Trek conversation would be awesome with you guys. Hell yes. All right. We'll plan a Drunkyards maybe next month, early in the month, so that you guys can hang out with us on the weekend. Just talk general Star Trek, everything. Hell yeah. I totally agree with you. Thank you so much.
And how many times do you think we'll get asked about Eagle Moss in that live?
A lot.
Alright, Stuart, what is this shot from? Have a think. Don't answer
From
yet.
Mama. It's from Generations.
Oh. What makes you say that?
Because the only time we see a galaxy class fire a photon torpedo to the rear around a planet.
Oh. Is that what you guys thought? Tell us in the chat right now. Is Stuart right? Or was he wrong like last time?
Fuck you. Sean T, $5. Watched The Langoliers last night. Such a great movie. Good job and great work, Trekyards. Thank you so much, Sean T. We were very proud of Langoliers. We did a lot of good work on that. I wrote the script. Samuel did all the visual effects and edited it. It was amazing. I was also a script doctor, and I also starred in it as well.
And as a much,
thank you.
As a much older PC as well, I would try to push the boundaries a bit.
I think he was like... He wasn't even a sperm in his daddy's nutsack at the time when he did that. He did pretty good work. I'm just saying.
Nutsacks do good work, Stuart. Nutsacks do good work sometimes. Dear. Scott, what things in Strange World Season 2 are you guys wanting the writers to focus on? Ooh.
Sorry, what did he say? Scott.
What are you
what
wanting in
things in
Season
Strange
2?
Are the guys wanting the writers to focus on? Kill Una. We don't care. I don't want to see like 15 episodes of her being rescued. Don't give a shit. Refit the fucking Enterprise to look TOS. At least change the hull texture to be white. That would be a first step. And straight struts. That's all we need. Straight struts, white texture. Keep the rest the same. I really don't care. Just make it look like it's supposed to look. It's pretty simple. There, focus on that. It's fucking easy. It's one episode. It's 5 minutes in an episode. Focus on it. Do it. Done. End of conversation. Samuel, what's
Hello.
your thoughts?
See. I would like to go to Starfleet Academy and see people in Cage or TOS costume. I would like to see a flashback with April and Pike in Cage costume.
Yes. Yes.
Because that has already been implied.
Must be done.
And then it'd be fun because you have the original Cage Enterprise with the spikes and such. Although the problem is if they show that Enterprise, and that'll retcon the Enterprise looking like the Strange Worlds Enterprise as Pike's Enterprise, which means it got Strange World Enterprise, refitted to Cage, refitted again to Strange Worlds, refitted again to TOS. Ugh, Jesus Christ. I would like... Oh, God. Oh, Ortega's. A whole episode of Ortega's, please. A two-part of Ortega's would be great. Give her a really strong thing. You know what?
But not a tragic backstory.
No.
For the love of God, have her have a happy family that's all alive.
Yes, have her go back to the academy, see some old friends or an old lecturer, be amazing. Maybe the Enterprise has lost all its crew. She has to save the day in some epic way. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Ortega's.
Our number one special, $2. I would like to see some more beta canon ships. Well, you spelled canon wrong. There's only one N in the middle. There's actually two N's.
That's one of his pet peeves, guys. Just saying.
Spelling and grammar is very important. So yes, but what other?
He's a grammar eugenics.
I would like to see some beta canon shit. I would too. Please. Well, we kind of got some in this one. We got the single nacelled ship. We also got the TOS Farragut design that's just kind of Miranda-like. So I want a fucking Federation dreadnought. I want to see a dreadnought. That's my goal.
Maybe
it doesn't even have to be a Foley class.
I was gonna say maybe if he was a Foley class.
It can be a Federation class. I'll be happy.
How would you feel if you saw an identical Foley class turn up?
Ooh, I would be like, yeah, somebody was paying attention. Those bastards. I'm gonna sue them. No, I'm just kidding. I would be honored that it would showed up. JB, $5. STO is still around, and you could get fan donations to join a questing group, perhaps. But we have Team Trekyards. We have an actual full star base in the game, which is like at the highest tier because our crew there is awesome. and I did a STO stream once where everybody like beamed over to my ship, and we had a party on the bridge. Everybody in the live chat was on the bridge. It was cool. So yeah, we could do something like that. It'd be fun.
The problem, of course, is we have a minimum super chat amount, so we can keep going. And we've done many game streams and no one turns up. Even the ones with the drunk ball, no, the party games where you could actually be in the games, and with like 25 people watching, which is nothing, and no interaction. And that's, you know, we want the chat to keep. This is why Trek topics are fun, because you guys actually interact with them fully. I'm really excited for the Resurgence video game. That'll be exciting, and Stuart and me might do full playthroughs of that on stream, because that's like a brand new Star Trek game. That could be. When's that coming out? I've lost track of that Star Resurgence. That's cool. Alright, when is it? Oh, it's not this year. Okay, so it's next year. Okay. That looks cool. That looks cool. Nemesis uniform. Blah, blah, blah.
Craig S23 puts in 18 pounds. So
Amazing. Thank you. That's a lot.
Weird number. Well, $17.99. It's been a long road. Sing along now. But alas, we've reached the finale of another Trek series. But one question. If you could each cast each other as a particular character in all of the gens of Trek, who would you cast each other as? Oh.
Well, you guys are going to come with your suggestions right now as well, what we think.
Samuel. He could be...
See, I have your idea straight away for some reason. I don't know why.
He could be that Romulan guy from Drumhead. I forget the guy's name now. The part Romulan guy that was on trial by the Admiral. Or Barclay. Samuel as Barclay. There you go.
Broccoli by name, broccoli by nature. Woof! For those that get...
I need to have a drink.
Red Dwarf. No, Red Dwarf. Blackadder. I think, Stuart, in a much more flattering version, would be guy in 10 forward who's at bar.
Wow, thanks for that.
Yeah, that uniform, very specifically, serving people drinks, listening, and making his opinions very known. So we'll give on, here's your Ratchagino. They're like, plasma conduits are like, plasma conduits, in my day, they need to be rerouted through the subjunction of 14 deck 776. And they're like, oh, that's a good idea. You're like, damn right it is. And you walk off. It's like,
meanwhile, the main scene is happening over on another table. They're having a conversation. It's like, I have input.
You walk over.
You're completely fucking wrong.
I am bartender Foley. Do what I say. So
yes.
What? Yeah.
Samuel can be Strange New World Sam Kirk, just based on a mustache, and voila.
Not far off, I know. I know. My name's not George. It's not George, Stuart. It's not George.
Neither's Sam's. It's Sam. Apparently. That's what they think, anyway. Idiots. He should be called George Kirk.
Which is funny, because obviously I prefer Samuel. Excellent, but it's not really his name, so...
Alright. You know what? Another $20 would be a great way to end out.
It would.
One more $20 super chat would be awesome.
Yeah, you guys give us a roller coaster. We have Stranger Worlds, and suddenly
we needed these super chats at the beginning.
I
See,
know.
now that we're just being us talking about whatever, people are super chatting. They don't give a fuck what we say about the show because we already talked about it. So I'm telling you, a general hangout Star Trek discussion, Drunkyards. Samuel, listen to me. People have spoken.
That's not in my contract to listen to you.
You're the commander.
Be serious.
You're the commander. I'm the captain. That's how it works. Shannon Nash is here. Cast Stewart as Captain Styles and replace the Excelsior with the Foley class. Oh no, I don't want to see the Foley class fail. It's not built by Ford.
Oh,
No.
JB, that's harsh. Oh, is he? I forgot about that in Voyager. Is he really? That's sad.
What happened? What's happening in
Oh,
Voyager?
he's just the sad guy who thinks he's always ill in Voyager. It's like, great. Great.
Ooh.
You know, I'm happy to be Davis in Trek shorts. I'm actually filming tomorrow in character. I will be saying... Do you want to hear some of my lines tomorrow? I can read some of my dialogue.
Sure, but Anthony Trania says, Captain Foley, what is on your shirt? The best shirt ever. It mixes two of my favorite things. Star Trek and Sherlock Holmes. It's elementary, dear Data. And there's the Enterprise right there. It's a perfect shirt for Captain Foley. Do you not agree?
I do.
I agree. I'm wearing the fucking thing.
My shirt, well, my framing is so much so, is...
I got a whole list of everything you ordered that day, by the way.
What do you mean, why? What?
Every time anybody uses our link or our store and then orders other shirts, we get a complete list of everything that they ordered.
Oh, did that go through?
Let me see.
So that went through you, did it?
You got a Halo shirt.
Yes.
I Ain't Going Back, N7, Back to the Future Vintage, Dune, House of Atreides Symbol, Starbug Retro Japanese Red Dwarf, Starbug Schematic, Lower Decks Black, Winchester Brothers, Babylon 5, Pedal to the Metal Commander, that's a great one, Finn's Arcade, Umbrella Corporation, Razor Crest, which I've seen you wear, Wormhole Extreme, and Battlestar Galactica. And we made $18.83 off of your purchases. That's our percentage that we got. I get everybody. If you go to the Trekyards store, order a Trekyards shirt, and then go buy other shirts, I see every other shirt you fucking ordered. It's hilarious. Not a lot of people know that, but now you all do. So.
Well, thanks for reading the dildo shirts I bought as well.
I deliberately
sidestepping.
left those.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I deliberately left those ones out.
I appreciate the. Wow, that's hey, good. I had zero idea that I was buying through us. I just linked through link. Sweet, yeah, man, it's $18. That's good.
My mother-in-law, she always buys a Trekyards shirt, and then she buys like 3 or 4 other ones, and it's always hilarious because I know what shirt she's going to be showing up to events in because I see her list.
Thanks, Captain Corgi. And yes, Dan, we are because we like these little shirts. I was going to say something about something important. What was I going to say?
Too bad.
I know. What was I going to say?
Grant McGregor says he puts in $5 and says, "I'm calling it. I may be wrong, but Cybok will be played by the same actor who played the Romulan commander." No, you know the Romulan commander should have been played by James, whatever the fuck his name is.
Frayne?
Yeah, James Frayne. Yes, Sarek in Discovery. That would have been fucking epic. I was waiting for it. I was like, yes, perfect opportunity. Do it. No, they fucked that up. That would have been simple and easy, and they should have done it. I don't know why they didn't. So no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to have it played by the same actor.
And Rose, no. But I'll buy them. Talk about them when I get them on Drunkyards. What was I talking about? I had some really good point that I was going to mention. Guys, what were we saying before we had shirt swap?
I have no idea.
Oh, my lines. Oh yeah, dialogue I was going to say.
Nobody cares.
Well, so tomorrow, these are my lines I'm going to say. Stop. My team went through the data. The suspect Eddie just appeared. You're the best pilot I know. If you couldn't have avoided it, then... brackets interrupted.
You're doing that old trope?
What old
You're
trope?
the best pilot I know shit?
Look. She lost some people point. I'm being supportive.
No.
Be supportive. Jesus Christ.
Not everybody can be the best pilot. I get so
Well, it's relative that I know. I don't know that many people, Stuart.
That's fair enough. I guess that's true. But you know what? I
I've only
get so
been on
sick
3
of,
ships.
I'm the best pilot in all of Starfleet. Fuck you, you are. You're the best pilot on this ship, maybe.
Okay, last quote, ready? What's Riker doing out here? And why is Harriman sending a signal? I think I have like 10 lines tomorrow.
I'm intrigued.
Thank you. In full
Rich
rather
Klein. Sorry. Rich Klein, $5. Samuel.
Hello.
I would pay $50 if you would do a Kentucky Fried Drunkyards in the future.
Well, keep your eyes.
Apparently, I'm Colonel Sanders now. Thank you for that, by the way.
Look, it's what happened. It just happened in Drunkyards, and it just sort of it works. It fits. I don't know. Don't blame me. Blame the Colonel, the Captain. Sorry, Captain.
See, here's the thing. I got the same fucking doll. Sounds like Captain Foley. Hi guys, I'm Captain Foley. How you doing? Welcome to Trekyards, everybody. Samuel's wrong about everything, especially the American accent. But hey, how you doing? It's all good. And Samuel left. I made him mad. Oh man. He quit. He's going to get his dolls. He keeps his dolls on his bed because he's a weirdo. Travis Mayweather, Sulu, and Tom Paris. I think Tom Paris qualifies as the best captain or the best pilot that I've seen. Sulu, not so much. Sulu didn't do anything to prove that. Tom Paris has proved it multiple times. So I think Tom Paris wins that one, guys. Oh, here we go. For fuck's sake. Like I told you, he keeps him on his bed because he's a fucking weirdo.
Hello, everybody. Well, this is the true voice of Captain Foley.
Hello, Governor. I'm Commander Hawkins from the great UK.
I was told you guys missed me, and I'm here to say hello, my friends. How is everyone today? I apologize for my sadness in the last life. I'm better now. My glasses are shiny. Can you not see? Ooh!
What the fuck are you doing?
What do you mean, Mr. Commander? Mr. Commander Hawkins?
Fuck. I'm the greatest commander, and I don't know what the fuck voice I'm doing there. Hello. I'm the greatest commander in Starfleet history.
Commander, are you okay? You sound a bit unhinged.
I'm drunk because our Drunkyards crew has joined us and they've made us all drunk.
But how long have you I just arrived. How many drinks did you have? I just got here.
Listen, I drink tea because I'm English.
What?
I don't have an English
tea?
accent.
Tea? Ugh. I'm Canadian. I only drink maple fried chicken.
Maple fried chicken? You drink it. Oh my god. We've had too much to drink. This is the end of the fucking world.
This is what you did to us, ladies and gentlemen. You made us do this shit live. And it's funny because I can see the humans on the monitor, but only you see the puppets.
Oi, oi, governor. I don't know. I'm English, therefore I'm superior.
Yes.
Super villain.
Yes.
But I like my setup better. This is a cool setup than over here in the captain's side.
Well, that's good for me. I mean you.
Right? I don't know. This has gone off the rails real quick.
Look. Yes.
And Sylvia's here too.
Oh,
Hi guys.
darling.
Sylvia.
Darling, how did you get there? You
I
never like
love
to be
you,
on
Captain
top.
Foley. The things I'll do. Ooh. Look at my hair. So pretty.
Darling, I can see up your skirt.
Ooh, look, I'm wearing panties.
Love you, Captain Foley.
What a day. No, that's your accent. What a day to have this. And apparently Captain Gorky says, oh, he laughs. Good, 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 good.
I quit. I'm done.
Are you okay there, Canadian Foley?
Yeah, how you doing, British Foley or Southern Fried Foley? I don't know what the hell you are.
Yes.
Colonel Foley, that's my new
Yes.
colonel designation.
Puppet
Thank
Foley.
you all for Lavery Farag. Captain for 2 months. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
It's Colonel Foley now. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Like Colonel West.
So, who wants to be the last Super Chat slot?
It's funny actually using the Colonel Sanders voice. I'm enjoying this because I have a Colonel Sanders like facial hair going on there.
Yes.
Are you all right, you two? No, we're not. Drunkyards. This is what happens, guys.
Steward? Captain?
You want to see my third
Cap-
nacelle,
Captain-
Gestrel? Oh, sorry. Yes, Captain Foley.
No,
or Colonel Foley.
Yes.
Colonel
You didn't ask me what my favorite episode of Strange New World Season 1 was.
What's your favorite episode of Strange New World Season 1, or Colonel Foley? Colonel Foley. That's Colonel Foley. I'm Captain Foley. He's Colonel Foley.
I
What is
like
it?
the one with those big titties.
You liked La'an in the Elysian Kingdom. I understand. I appreciate that.
Yes.
This guy is like me. Listen to this guy, buddy. He's the real Colonel
They
Foley.
remind me of home. And home is where the
Exactly.
heart is. And I like to get my face next to that heart.
As close to the heart as possible.
He gets what I'm doing. We share a bond, him and me.
This is like the short treks of Trekyards. Yes. Enter the multiverse. Yes, this is the wool multiverse. The crocheted multiverse of Trekyards, everybody.
The multiverse of madness.
I don't know why Gastro wants to see my third nacelle. I don't think you'd appreciate that. YouTube wouldn't anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Stuart, I must go now. The
But
fried
Stuart,
chicken hour
I
call.
must go now. The fried chicken.
Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Colonel Foley. We love you.
I love
And
you.
the other guy that I had here he's Governor Cockings. He's not Commander Cockings. So Colonel Foley and Governor Cockings.
Yes. Goodbye.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye. Jesus Christ. JB, $5. Did you see anything, Commander? No, Captain. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. That's true. He hasn't seen Spaceballs, though. So he doesn't appreciate that.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Commander. We missed
Did I
you.
just get replaced
We
there
had-
for like 10 minutes?
We had
Oh.
Governor Cockings here and
Oh.
Colonel Foley. It was a
Yeah.
fantastic time.
Yeah, I was hit. I was sort of out for a bit there. I hope everything was fine. I hope it was all good.
Colonel Foley took you out, eh? He did the double axe handle to the back of the neck. Gotcha. Bill Barkley says only Sylvia gets to see that in the cell. If only that were true. I think other people might have seen it.
On that sex joke, season 1 of Stranger Worlds, good season. Well done them.
It's a good season.
I look forward to
Wow.
Lodex and Prodigy especially because I don't know where it goes. Well done them. Hopefully they make it more TOS in season 2, but I doubt it. And we hope they get a season 3 commission because we know they've now finished filming season 2. So if they don't hurry up and film season 3, we'll have a break between the seasons as well. But I asked everyone your favourite episode of these four that our four favourite. But the winner with a substantial margin is the final episode at 53%, with the second best being our other favourite, Amok Spock, 31%, and almost joint was the Cybok and Xenomorph episodes at 9 and 8% retrospectively. Well, yeah, respectively and retrospectively. Interesting.
A strong first outing. That's a good analysis there, the Endeavornist. Let's meet up at the next Wonderfest. I'll buy you the first round. I need to drink some more with you guys. Man from Planet X, I didn't know you were at Wonderfest, so awesome. Secondly, Samuel needs to join me for a Wonderfest. I think he'd enjoy himself. Yeah, you should join me for a Wonderfest one year. Only problem is it's a 7.5 hour drive, and I know how you hate driving.
Oh yes, I hate driving myself for 2.5 hours. Well, yeah.
Captain Corky, definitely 100 out of 100 for Trekyards today.
Ah.
Thank you. We appreciate that. This has been good. See, we need this trunk near the beginning, so the whole live is like this,
Yes.
not just the end. Dudes.
Yes.
My dudes.
Yes.
Next Drunkyards. Anyone that turns up from this Drunkyards to the next Drunkyards, super chat right away. That's the key.
Yep.
Because now I'm going to be feeling this for the rest of the fucking day. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up at probably a weird time and feel like crap and have to take some medication and maybe have some water and maybe have some sweet stuff. I need to eat sweets usually. And then, you know, mess up the rest of my day. And Samuel's got a film tomorrow early, so you've already screwed him up. So good job, guys.
So vote on our poll, and we got at least 30 votes. What's the poll, Stuart?
There's a poll there, but I'm going to read Rose Kirby's thing first. Thank you, Trekyards, Drunk Season Breakdown, for keeping me company. I hope to speak to you very soon. Until then, enjoy love and wishes. Good evening and good night. Thank you, Rose. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
But the new poll, there's a new poll, so go vote on that before you leave.
Yes.
Should Puppet Foley return? Ooh, 75% yes. No, 25%. Go vote. Should I work on the English governor cockings? Let us know. We'll have to do a whole video with them. Not like a live, because that'd be difficult. But like a 5-minute video would be cool.
The introduction of the puppets, yes.
General Grievous, who's been member
Hey,
for 11 months.
welcome, Dreadnought.
Welcome back,
I mean,
General Captain. In the episode where Uhura and Hammer vented the cargo bay, why didn't they just use mag boots? They had them on NX-01 era EV suits. No need to tie off. It's a good question.
well, there's two reasons. Either they forgot they had them, or B, they didn't have them in the containers where the suits were.
I think he's implying that they're on all EV suits, so they should be on those
Are they,
ones.
though? I mean, there's
Would
EV
make
suits
sense.
and there's internal space
They're,
suits.
considering their floor is like shiny fucking plexiglass, I don't know. It's not magnetic, maybe. I don't know.
So true. But thank you guys, you got us to over our Drunkyards minimum. Fantastic. I think we're going to do an Orville one next week to look at the next 3. There's some stuff to look at. There's been some things, so that'll be fun. I think it's been 3 weeks. The last one we looked at 1, 2, and 3, so I guess we're at 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
So we'll do that.
We
next
just watched episode 7, so we're
Oh,
a little bit behind.
4. Cool. Well, we'll do it next week as well. We've got some more Stranger Worlds topics as well, some more videos. Today, of course, go back and watch our Farragut. There's a little bit of a joke at the start. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Already 3,000 views. Go check it out. Tomorrow we've got
I don't remember the joke. What's the joke? You tell me the joke.
Well, we show the actual Farragut.
Oh, yes. Ha ha! That's how it should look. General Grievous, $5.
Oh.
Some more orange juice for Sam.
With vodka in, yes. I'll finish it.
There's no vodka. He's lying to you because he has a good bro.
I'm committed.
He's committed to the bit, as we should be. Scott Day, I think they sound. I think they sound bring back. I think it should say. I think they should bring back Hammer for season 2, Stranger Worlds, like they did with Shax in Lower Decks. No explanation. Would be funny. LOL. I disagree with that, but okay.
I mean, Hammer's twin brother.
Sure.
I mean, the actor's going to come back either way, so yeah, he did good. I liked how, I don't think the voice he played is the exact same voice he has in real life. I think he played a character voice, and it stood out well, so he did a good job. Which was in more of it. But yeah, have a lovely day, guys. Wish you luck for tomorrow. Filming some stuff, and we can, almost last day of Convergence. We've got to film all the NIM stuff, which is a substantial amount of stuff, but all the NIM stuff. And it's going to be the first day of a 3-day horrific heat wave. Tomorrow it gets to the point where you shouldn't do stuff, but we're going to try. The next day is likely the hottest day ever in our country, ever, in recorded memory, on Monday. We had a very big shoot day planned. We cancelled it. Ha! And then Tuesday less bad, but Monday's not going to be good, so...
Yeah, and they say that global warming isn't affecting anything. Bullshit. I saw that. I saw the map of the UK and 41 degrees beside it, and I'm like, for fuck's sakes, it's hot here too today.
Obviously, we haven't got aircon, so most people in most parts of the country, if they're home, they go miserable. Whereas normally in America, most houses, or even cars, not even all of our cars have aircon. You are stuck in a hot box where the best you can do is...
cold down here.
Yeah.
My feet are cold because we got air conditioned central air.
Crazy.
It's fucking cold down in the basement.
Crazy. Whereas the best we can do normally is a fan to move hot air and iced drinks that last for minutes. So it's You know, kind of like with Texas and the snow. They can't deal with snow. We can't deal with hot. We've not prepped for either. Doesn't help.
Maybe upgrade to the modern era. Might be a good idea.
Well, the irony is that there's a huge campaign, not recently, but last year about it was called Insulate Britain, and they were actively, in essence, terrorizing people, but via protests, like really disruptive protests. And the thing was insulation, which was great for the winter because it would reduce power costs because you don't have the heating on. But in the summer, the insulation keeps the heat in. So without an aircon system, you're then hotter in the summer because the insulation keeps the heat in. So we are very much a keep heat in country because we're mostly cold. So when the summer is therefore a thing, open window, great. Now, would you open a window and think that's going to solve our heat issue? No.
No, because we have humidity. Yeah. Well, you've been here. I mean, our houses are insulated against cold too, because it's fucking Canada. Yeah. We also have central air, so it's a weird trade-off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, look forward to that. But we'll try. It'll be a great filming session. But I've only got 3 more days of this year, so got to get that stuff done. Yeah, with 6 months left of the 4 or 5 months, it's got a lot. So yeah. Have a great day, guys. I will go to bed.
Good night.
Cute good night too, Stuart. And I look forward to lives next week. Some good to talk about. So until next time, he's Captain Colonel Kentucky Fried Foley.
He is Commander Governor Cockings. See you guys later.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.